Booyakasha. Check it out. I is here with none other than my main man.
That was so professional. Did that go off so smoothly? No one spotted the mistake.
It confused me.
That's how, you know what? That's how so many shows should start. Booyakasha.
I was out my seat. I was like, why can I hear Hidden's voice? Anyway, these things happen, mate.
Oh,
cheers,
God.
everyone. Cheers.
Hello. Jesus Christ. I just really don't know what to say.
Don't worry, mate. It's mistakes. Don't worry about it. How are you, Hidden? You all right? You keep him all right?
I'm well floating around there.
Good to hear. Good to hear it. Hello, chat. Nice to see you all. Who we got here? We got John's. Hidden. You got to be reading, mate. I am.
Not
quite there yet.
So we're gonna start up here with. We'll grab. Let's see. Guys. We're gonna get. Hello, Rebecca. Are you not working? Because you're here. Right. So we'll start here and let's get in. Always much love, much love.
Welcome on in.
Base 2221. Are we going to get to that?
Yeah, don't worry. We'll get to
it. We'll get to it.
Who's that? I don't know.
I don't know.
Get out of it, mate. You should get out of here. You're not welcome.
No. Hello.
Yeah.
Where are we at?
Ruby. Hi, Ruby.
Yeah. But is that boo? I ain't gonna say nothing because if I pronounce it wrong, that's it. You're gonna Rogue Trooper. I can pronounce that right.
Evening, mate.
That was from 2000 AD. 2000 AD. You ever read them comics?
No. Oh, Rogue Trooper. No, that actually rings a bell. Well, that back in the 80s. It's that 80s comic.
Well, it's still going now, isn't it? You remember what's his name? Judge Dredd.
Oh, right. We're going all the way back there, yeah? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's Rogue. I used to read that, man. I remember I used to get the annuals of that stuff. 2000. Never mind. All right, Philip. Yes, we're going there. We're going there, baby. You got the passport with us, lot. The cosmic underbelly.
Cosmic underbelly. Love it. John, how's it going, mate?
Yes, how you doing, brother? All right.
Corbell's cat. Evening.
Okay, now we're here.
Oh my god, dude! Honestly, my cat. I'm not joking. Anyone in chat who's got a cat, that breath absolutely stinks. He's on my lap at the moment. You see him, and his breath is so bad. Honestly, I don't know what to do. I'm like heaving her. Terrible.
Is it really that bad?
Mate,
now, I'm being honest. You know you know, you might have to take him to the vet, you know, because he might have is it not gangaitis, or what's it called?
What, gingivitis for cats?
That's it. Yeah, they get that. I had a cat that had it. That had it. That's how come I know.
Well, he's had a check and he seems to be all right, you know, perfectly like healthy cat. But honestly, it's just like, I don't think he's got water there. I don't think he drinks, but my God, I'm not joking. It's like someone's died down his throat. He's an Amazon cat, don't get me wrong, but my God, it's like,
how long is he? How long? But how long is his breath smell? Sorry.
Oh no, for ages, like since we got him.
Oh,
it's always
really?
been like that. Yeah, but it's just got worse. About 3 years.
Oh, then it can't be that.
Yeah, it's not me, mate. Honestly, it's the fucking cat. I swore. I'm sorry, Hayden. PG-13, brother.
We're allowed to. We're allowed 2 or 3.
Okay, 1F. All right, that's fine. Oh, mate. So, yeah. What's been going on in ufology at the moment? Because you uploaded yesterday's an episode yesterday, or a UFO footage. Did pretty well, actually.
Yeah, I think. Oh, I was going to save mine until the end.
Yeah, sure.
So
sure,
if we could have, if you guys, because I'd love to just dive into this the Antarctic stuff.
Antarctic. Okay, that's cool, mate. Yeah. Okay, so this is quite a big episode. I did an episode on Alien Addicts last Friday. Okay, I got 3 copyrights. 3. So a lot of it came from like History Channel and Joe Rogan, out of all bloody places, mate. So I don't have a lot of clips, so to speak. But what we're going to do is going to talk about Operation Highjump. But it goes back to way before Operation Highjump. So let's just get into it. Let's bring up a picture of. Oh, where are we to? Let's bring up this one here. Because anyone who's familiar with Operation Highjump will see this picture. Hidden? Me old cocker? That's an old British term. This here, if anyone's researched into Operation Highjump, this is what you would see. Flying saucer with battleship, okay? So before we get into, well, the whole gist of Operation Highjump is that there was basically an army sent straight after World War II, because there were speculations that Germany has actually, could we see the N word? Nazi or not?
Just spell it. I see. The thing is, YouTube is very funny with things like this, and because of the far right movement, you mentioned that word, you know, and we're a UFO channel, so why don't we say UFOs from German World War II? It might be a long-winded way of saying it, but sorry, we got to play it out that way.
Unfortunately, yeah. So when I say German, it means Nazi. You get the idea. The Third Reich, basically.
The German World War II tech.
Yeah, that's it, basically. Yeah. So what happened? There were speculations that the Germans had actually established a base in Antarctica. Okay, and what happened straight after the war in 1946 is that there was basically like an army sent straight into Antarctica. And there was obviously a cover story behind that. But I think we're going a bit too far ahead. So let's go back to, hold on.
Ooh, we go way back in the Wayback Machine.
Go to Wayback Machine here, baby. Right. What should I bring up? Hidden, are you okay with swastikas or not? Too late. So yeah, this. Right. Okay. Let's just get my notes up here, because this is quite important. So we need to go all the way back to. So I got so much. Okay. So yeah. So in basically what happened in 1937 to 1938, the Germans basically went into Antarctica. Okay, so what they did, they actually wanted to go there to find resources, basically a new territory, a way like a retreat, so to speak. So from 1937, I believe actually to 1939, the Germans actually took over the size of Germany, basically a territory the size of Germany in Antarctica. Okay. And what they did, they placed swastika flags all around. It was something like, I think it was like 800,000 square meters. It was literally as big as Germany. The Germans has literally taken over. So you could say they took over a part of like, is it Netherlands, isn't it, where it's based in at the time, I think? So they really took over that before they took over Poland. So like I said, this was from 1937 to 1939. This expedition took place. And this was set by Rudolf Hess, who gave them permission.
I'll be back in 1 second.
Yeah, you go ahead, mate. All good, mate. So at this time, guys, the Germans actually had a fleet. They had 2 aircraft carriers, as well as sort of takeoff planes as well. So instead of actually flying to Germany, to Antarctica, they would send out these huge boats, and then they would actually take off aircraft. And what they managed to do is they used to fly over Antarctica, all this unknown territory, and they've taken over. I believe Hidden Underbelly is speaking to the DPS guy, getting his package. Dick in the box. Sorry, I got. So yeah, basically, when the planes were flying over, they literally took 11,000 photographs, and what they found out is that they had territories that were basically had no ice at all. There was actually vegetation growing, and there seemed to be these like undercave caverns as well that goes deep underneath the ice sheet. So they took 11,000 photographs. It was quite compelling, really. And like I said, they basically the Germans taken over. It was 600,000 square meters of land, which is as big as Germany. And as they sort of go through these territories, these unknown territories of Antarctica, and bear in mind, this is 1937, okay? They went deep underneath the ice sheet, I mean, really deep underneath. And they found these sort of lakes that was more or less what's that word hidden? Thermo something. It's got its own ecosystem. So it's basically the temperature inside the ice caves is like 25 degrees. It's like a swimming pool inside the ice caverns. It's like thermoheated, basically. And this is what the Russians have found this recently. Actually, not long ago, they found these like deep ice caverns as well, that are thermoheated. So you can like take a bath there. It'd be like 25-degree heat.
Thermal inversion.
Thank you very much. That's the word I'm looking for.
I'm glad I could help you.
Thank you very much. Reading is not going to be my forte for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. So.
Well, our buddies turned up.
Yay! Oh, mate. Do you know what? Off the live stream, I was kind of like, how do I pronounce that? How do I put the D into that between the N and the T? But anyway, brilliant. So, yeah. So as the Germans were exploring Antarctica, they found these underground caves. It was thermoheated. And it also found, apparently, well, I can't really got any photographs of this. This was places that had actually vegetation growing in there. Okay. So...
Right back at you.
Thanks for coming in, man. So at this, not for me, mate. Not for me.
He's 420'd out, man.
I am, man.
I'm there.
God. I'm like all over the place at the moment. So anyway, so what happened at the time? Germany wanted to create a base underneath the ice sheet. Apparently, allegedly. Now, there's no concrete proof of this. We're just sort of speculating. But the Germans were going back and forth from Germany to Antarctica. And I believe they had bases there in Argentina. So they were doing, I mean, Argentina's quite closer to Antarctica, you see.
That's funny you say that. Somebody's just come in, yeah? Johnny Webb?
Johnny Webb. How's it going, bro?
Hi, all. Oh, I thought he said Argentina. Sorry. See, I can't read.
You're telling me, mate.
Sorry.
Hello,
yeah. John. Sorry. Yeah. Carry on.
And hello, Mark. How's it going, mate? So, yeah. So there were speculations that the Germans were actually establishing a base there. Now, there's many different theories over the years that there was a UFO base and all that, but we'll get into that in a minute. So if we go by that speculation at the moment, okay, that Germans had the possibility established a base in Antarctica. Was Mustachio Man, was he hiding out there? Okay. Well, we kind of know where he really went, you know. Mustachio Man.
They got it. They figured it out.
They managed to figure it out. But the name of this base hidden, okay, well, back in the 70s, through a book I've got about Antarctica, I'll have to cover it up because it's quite a controversial book. This is the original book. This is called UFOs, German Secret Weapons. That came out in 1974 by a very controversial figure, but it's saying that this base was called Base X. This is back in the 70s, okay? Now we know it as Station 211, right? So this is all Base 211, basically. So remember someone in chat earlier was saying 211, that's it. Base 211, that's basically what it is, okay? So this was the name of the Mustachio Man. South America died. Ecuador in 1950. I believe it was 1970s. Ooh, I'm not too sure on that. Oh man, that is if we could do an episode on it, I bloody would. Is absolutely fascinating. But yeah, he definitely he hit the seashore, didn't he? Spookfest. How's it going, bruv? Right. Okay, so where's my notes? So yeah, going with this speculation, right? The Germans named this territory that they'd taken over as New Schwabenland. Okay, so you probably heard that term before. So that was the name given to the place they've actually taken over, all right, as New Schwabenland. In fact, hidden, if I go through my photographs, we'll get to that in a minute. Let's go to... So this is a map from National Geographic from 1957 of the world map. And if you have a little look where the arrow is, what does it say?
New Schwabenland.
New Schwabenland. So there we go. That is actually official in the National Geographic map of Antarctica. So it just goes to show that they did take over territory. Like I just showed you the picture of the swastika they planted around there. So this was all obviously speculation, okay? But this leads to, hold on, and let me just check my X National Geographic. So, there's one good point I should mention. So after this fall of the Soviet Union, there were maps that were leaked out to the public, and these maps originally obtained by the KGB, which gave directions and navigations through the ice caverns to reach these bases. So it managed to find like these like oasis sort of type. That's the word I'm trying to think of. Oasis sort of caverns underneath the ice sheet. So apparently these maps. Oh, actually, have I got one here? I think I do. I haven't got anything numbered. Terrible. There we go. So apparently these were leaked out. I'm sorry, it's a very blurry photograph, but it actually shows ways from inside the cavern through the ice sheets. And this was detailed. I think that, so the end of the Soviet Union, kind of remind me, chat, when that came out. Well, I'm sorry, when that ended. But this came out that sort of time period, allegedly. And this is original blueprints of what is underneath the ice sheet. So it's where Klaus Schwab is from, yeah. Pretty much, mate. What we got here? So let's move on to... So I think it's worth moving on to Operation Highjump. So this is where it gets interesting. So obviously I was talking about, there was speculation about Eisenhower and Churchill knew there was something going on in Antarctica. Even though the Germans kept it secret, eventually when the war ended, all the secrets started to come out. Obviously, with Operation Paperclip was a big undertaking as well. So so there is also another speculation whether or not they're going back and forth and if there was a base established. So this is where Operation Highjump comes in. Okay, so let's where are we to me? So yeah, Admiral Byrd was a real famous American and well, practically like a world explorer, and he used to go into Arctic and Antarctic regions, and he was very well known. And this is going back in the 1930s, so this is way before the war. So Admiral Byrd was very well known for that, and he was very, very high up in the government afterwards when he did Operation Highjump. Or there's some like speculations what happened with a few people. So saying that, there was this operation saying, right, okay. Well, the official story hidden is that we want to send our army basically to Antarctica and then sort of test clothing, equipment, weaponry. Not really weaponry, it's like check out the penguins to see if they're right, check on the weather. So it's almost like testing equipment, so to speak. I know. But this is the thing, okay? So this was a multitude funded operation, okay? Which was obviously codename Operation Highjump. So this what it consists of. So this was 13 ships, a state-of-the-art aircraft carrier with launching aircrafts. So it's the big ships where you can actually launch aircraft from. They had submarines, 3 minesweepers, cargo refueling ships, floating boats. They had 4,700 men, and then an extra 3,500 and full battle draft marine gear. So you're basically taking an army and you go into Antarctica to test clothing and equipment, and you're bringing that with you. So that was the code, or basically that was the mainstream media that came out, because the world press stated that this was a race to get uranium, because uranium was obviously like nuclear power and what the Germans were developing. Hey, Rotary, how's it going, bruv? 420, man, you have to do that by yourself, unfortunately, for this one. I am struggling to read this, even though I like bloody own notes here, and it's so simplified. So yeah, at that same time period, nuclear power was very new, and the Germans had developed it and were actually using it. So uranium was quite a big thing. So the world press stated that this was to find uranium, but Byrd said that it was to test clothing and equipment and obviously look at the weather and to find out if the penguins are gay. But he didn't know that. So the fleet left from Virginia, and I put the word vagina on my notes here. What an idiot. So yeah, I know, mate. I know, it's one of those days. So yeah, so for the fleet left from North Virginia on December the 2nd, 1946. And also on board was British and Norway troops as well. So you also had the Americans, Norway, and the British combined together. So it was a multi-layer country involved in this. And the expedition had enough food and fuel and equipment to last up to 8 months stay, mate. 8 months stay. And they only lasted about 16 weeks. And we'll get to that in a minute. And on arrival, the military force set up bases and eventually expanded their territory at quite a rapid pace. So this is from 1946. Okay, so this was like a year after the Second World War has ended. And after setting up bases, the equipment and instruments went totally haywire, and the performances gauges and all the meter readings behaved in the most erratic manner. Okay, this is like certain areas. This caused Admiral Byrd to abandon his flights because his meters weren't reading, the compasses weren't reading. All right. And according to the newspapers, 19 U-boats surrendered at
Carla Lakashi.
Okay. Yeah, I believe in Brazil as well. Actually, in the 1950s, some U-boats were actually surrendered in the 1950s. So, oh, that's interesting. Huh. Got a Philadelphia experiment connection there. So, yeah, at this time hidden, there was some like really strange stuff going on. They had like the equipment started going haywire. The compasses wasn't working properly. So eventually Admiral Byrd went out and did his expedition. So he took his plane with him. And this particular morning, He was clear sky day, and he was a scientific philosopher. Awesome name, mate. Awesome name. Welcome on in. So yeah, this particular day, clear blue sky. His plane was checked all over, obviously, before he's going to do on a flight, especially Antarctica. If the cold conditions, need to check everything's all working right. So he sets his plane off. He's flying over the sort of mountains, and then suddenly, Byrd's plane lost communication, and then he said he lost 3 hours of time, according to his diaries, which we'll talk about in a minute. And the official story for that is that there was a radio failure, because obviously you couldn't have it must have gone too far over the mountainside and lost communications. That is one aspect. So yeah, eventually they sent up some other aircraft as well, and these planes went missing. They couldn't even track these planes. There were like no survivors. It was all pretty much up in the air. So you had all these like fishy stuff going on.
Sorry.
You're right, Ed, and you are coughing, man. What is going on? Take a swip of tea or something.
Thanks for reminding me. Jesus.
So yeah, so after 48 hours after Admiral Byrd lost that 3 hours of time, 4 planes lost without a trace. There was no survivors. The decision was made to leave Antarctica, to abandon ship, so to speak. However, the official story said it was due to bad weather condition after they left. Okay, so you had all this strange stuff going on, and at that time, it was almost like kept down like a low secret. But also there were, I believe, Chilean newspapers and journalists that were on board. So after what was supposed to be an 8-month stay hidden, they went away after 16 weeks. So it was quite, I mean, I think it's worth going into the sort of speculation of what actually happened. What I'm going to say now is like a couple of quotes from Admiral Byrd that he mentioned in a Chilean newspaper on the way back from Antarctica. All right.
So how many planes you said went missing? 6 planes?
He said it's 4 planes in total went missing. Yeah, 4 planes. And they were going over a certain cavern over the mountains, according to Admiral Byrd.
And to this date, these planes ain't never been found? Have never been found?
Never been found. I'm pretty sure they've been found by now, because you know the amount of territory that's been taken over Antarctica by Russia, the British, the Americans. You know how restricted it is. So there was something going on, even though the Germans were going there back and forth, which I believe they were doing, because the maps were pretty much in quite great detail, really, when you look at it. So I can't imagine them finding all that. So I can't imagine that in mapping that out in a couple of years. I think they were going back and forth, doing at least something in a way, sort of tracking their territory, so to speak. Almost like a retreat. Okay, but this is like the strangest thing, because I've got to read this out. Let's have a little look. So have you heard of Admiral Donuts? Oh my god, who is he? Is it
I don't know, but I've heard of Major Meringue.
Major Meringue. Okay, so all right, I'm just going to read this out here. So Carl Donitz, I just think of like donuts, honestly. So he was a German Navy officer following Mustachio Man's death. Succeeded him the head of state of Germany in May of 1945. So he was a high-ranking German official in Germany in World War II. I ain't going to say the N word. But he was recruited through Operation Paperclip into the United States. And he put a really interesting quote about Antarctica. And this is before Operation Paperclip, right? And this is what it says. This is an actual quote from him. He says, "The German submarine fleet is proud to have built the Führer, another part of the world, a Shangri-La on land, an impenetrable fortress." That's what he said. That's what he said. That is a direct quote from him. Okay. So he's saying there was a fortress built for the Führer, a new Shangri-La. You've heard that word before with Shangri-La? So it was like a fancy like hotel room, even though with like chandeliers going down, that sort of like stylistic sort of thing. It sounds good, doesn't it? Go pass that champagne over, baby. So yeah, that is what he said. So I'll repeat that one more time. The German submarine fleet is proud for having built the Führer, another part of the world, a Shangri-La on land and impenetrable fortress. Okay, so that was Carl Donuts. But this is what Admiral Byrd said. So this is where we're going to get into the UFO thing that started to pop out in like the early 90s. So this was on the way back from Antarctica. The ship that Admiral Byrd was on was called the Olympus. And this was a signal boat, basically. That's what it was he was on. So he was signaling back to someone called James Forrestal. We'll get to him in a minute. The Secretary of State. I don't want to spoil anything first. But anyway, this is what Admiral Byrd said on the way back. So he stated that he didn't want to frighten anybody unduly because it was a bitter reality in case of a new war. The continental United States would be attacked by flying objects which can fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds. I can't believe I read that correctly, the state I'm in. So let me just read that one more time. I'm going to screw this one up. So this is what Admiral Byrd said. Okay, listen very carefully. He didn't want to frighten anyone unduly because it was a bitter reality. In case of a new war, the continental United States would be attacked by flying objects which could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds. That's what he said. So this speculation almost fueled conspiracy theories. And I have to say that really especially when the Houndaboo flying saucers. So this is where we get into the anti-gravity flying saucers, which we know as the Houndaboo and Vril. But the part of this will be the Houndaboo, which is... I didn't even get Hannibal with all my bloody German flying saucer pictures. Hold on. There we go. That is a typical Houndaboo. Like a George Adamski photograph like that. Okay. So all this speculation after the war, everything went top secret, mate. Everything was kept under Sturm. Everything that's been classified still to this day. But apparently hidden. This is where things started to change. On Admiral Byrd's deathbed, and I believe it was in the late 80s, he had a diary, a secret diary that he gave to his son before he died. And apparently in this diary, and here are the alleged pages, it stated his proper analysis, what he found in Antarctica. Okay. And chat, this is where it gets all ooky spooky. I'm in the right frame mind for that. My God.
I'm trying to read this. No!
You didn't drop your tea, did you? Here's another letter. But it's hard to read this writing. And whether or not this is actually real or not. I would say it's real because it's got the tea stains on it.
Yeah, I would go with that.
Yeah. Good enough for me.
Yeah.
But,
trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro. Trust his coffee stains. So yeah, this is obviously the manuscript has been changed into a more cohesive writing, and there are books on Admiral Byrd's experiences. So I think let's just go through it. If I can find my notes, where are we to? Yeah, there's a very famous case when Admiral Byrd was setting out one day where he said he had this missing time, and he kind of put that to the back of his head. He thought, right, let me just go again to the same place. It was basically over this mountain. He said he was flying a reasonable flight, but let me just read the story out here. So this is from his secret diaries, okay, that he kept secret. And this was revealed in, I believe, 1991. Yeah. And according to the diary, Byrd was fueling his plane before takeoff. And at 8:15 in the morning, he was flying at the altitude of 2,300 feet. So it's a relatively low altitude. And he checks into base at 10:15. So he's been flying through quite a period of time. And he noticed this colored pattern in the snow. And then suddenly his instruments started to act really strange. His compass started like spinning around everywhere. His guidance system was going all over the place, and his radio signal was going out of communications to communications. So obviously he's been flying for a couple of hours at that time. And he used the sun to actually guide him back. So he's using the sun to guide him back into base. And he also mentioned that his aircraft controls were quite sluggish as well. So as he's continuing to go over this mountain, he thought, let me just carry on and see what's going on here, because he's obviously having the same experience, but without the missing time. And he noticed this like green valley on the ground. And then suddenly he starts circling this green valley. And as he got lower and lower, he noticed, right, he says he saw this mammoth-like animal. You know, the typical mammoth, like from back in prehistoric times? He said he saw that. And it was in like an open green field. There were like almost like vegetation growing. And this is a strange thing, right? That suddenly the cabin became warm. It's like he came out of Antarctica, obviously, because there's going to be ice crystals all over the aircraft. He came to this part of Antarctica, which is not on our maps, but it is on previous maps. And it shows these open caverns that are basically open areas, so to speak, that had ice-free zones, vegetation was growing, and eventually the cabin got warm. So it was in a completely different territory that is not on the map from Antarctica. And still there was no radio signals. But as he kept on flying, he noticed this city in the distance. Yeah, we're going wacky-backy here, man. So as he's going, he sees the city. Suddenly he felt this force take over his aircraft. And obviously he still had no radio control signal back to base. And from that period, he said he saw these flying saucers follow the wingtips. And then suddenly this voice came over. And it said, Admiral Byrd, welcome to Shangri-La or something like that. So I couldn't, don't quote me on that one, but it was basically welcoming Admiral Byrd into this like underground base, basically. And eventually he landed. He was taken to these flying saucers. I'm not joking. I mean, we could put the Y-files. Do you think the Y-files would be okay, mate, or not? Because he's going to explain it way better than I am.
Well, yeah, he should be all right.
Do you think he'd be all right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. 2 seconds.
How long is it?
It's not very long. It's just explaining what happened at Antarctica, basically.
Yeah. He should be all right with it for educational purposes.
Okay. Cool. Let's do that because he's going to explain it a lot better than I am.
Hey, you was doing a good job.
Oh, mate, no. I was so good like 2 hours ago. Files Antarctica. So there's been like so many different conspiracy theories over the years on Operation Highjump. I mean, as the birth of the internet, the theories kind of get more outlandish. You know what I mean?
I mean, what I heard. Yeah, run a disclaimer banner. I need one, don't I? Should I just make one real quick? Nah, screw him. You'll be all right.
I think we showed his videos before. But man, that copyright was like annihilated.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't want to do that to your channel, mate. You know what I mean? Right. So this is for educational purposes. Y-files, amazing. Especially hecklefish. Love hecklefish. Let's go play.
Nice.
Oh, hold on.
that the radio antenna oscillated back and forth from the turbulence and gave testimony of how strange craft suddenly appeared from the ocean. And this is corroborated by...
All right, hold on. There we go.
According to documents leaked in 1991, things back at Camp Little America take a strange turn. Just 2 days after arriving, bright lights were seen on the horizon. The sailors thought it was another ship, but they were below the Antarctic Circle in uncharted waters. The lights then ascended at a 45-degree angle into the sky very quickly. They tried to make radar contact, but were out of range. 3 hours later, 5 more lights appeared in the sky and began flying directly toward the ships. Anti-aircraft guns and 20-millimeter cannons were fired, but had no effect. A radio operator stationed on the USS Brownson gave testimony of how strange craft suddenly appeared from the ocean. And this is corroborated by Lieutenant John Sayerson, who said objects shot vertically out of the water at tremendous speeds. One object flew between the masts of a ship with such force that the radio antenna oscillated back and forth from the turbulence. An aircraft from the USS Currituck took to the sky but was immediately struck by a beam of energy and destroyed. About 10 miles away, the torpedo boat USS Maddox burst into flames and began to sink. According to the report, this was the first attack of several that would occur over the next few weeks. February 26 would be the last engagement with the unknown craft. The Navy task force ordered retreat and left the area, a full 6 months before their mission was supposed to end. Although Lieutenant Sayerson couldn't identify the lights, he wondered if they were what he called German wonder weapons, being operated by survivors of the recently defeated Third Reich, operating out of a secret base under Antarctica. His testimony has fueled speculation that still exists, and to this day, investigators are trying to determine what really happened during Operation Highjump.
Okay, so that was part of the story. What happened? This is all according to Admiral Byrd's diary. Now, we've just seen a little bits of paper of this alleged diary. So we're kind of, hey, John, how's it going, bruv? John P. Adventures.
But surely somebody has seen the diary to corroborate.
I know, this is it. It's kind of hard to find, really. Here's just like a typical example, Hidden, because this here, hold on, right, that, okay, we've all seen this photograph, right? Well, this obviously is artist impression, I love it. But this is where I get my speculation on this, because obviously, you know, my thoughts on German flying saucers, like my research into it. I don't see any evidence that the Germans had built anti-gravity flying saucers like the Haunebu, like this, George Adamski style sort of craft. That's just my personal opinion, and that these rose out the ground and everything. Like, I don't like this. Sorry, sort of. Brother. What's
that? Someone's telling me maybe I should mute the mic when I want to have a little cough.
Oh, yeah, I haven't noticed. Yeah, I've been doing that quite a bit.
Sorry, man.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good. But yeah, I just find these. I mean, even I don't want to play the whole video of Y-Files here, but he was saying at the end of the video, it says, "Look, take this with a very pinch of salt. These are just literally stories with really nothing to back things up." I understand the documents are still classified to this day, and there was an interview with Admiral Byrd, which I can bring up actually, that shows him in the 50s being interviewed on his TV show.
What's the TV show? And also, what's the TV show first? But also, can I throw something into the mix now? Because yeah, I see where I could kind of connect the dots with this.
Yeah.
All right. Because the possibility now, I'm kind of into this now. I'm new at this one, but I'm kind of into this theory. The possibility of a German Reich, civilization. Sure. What is it called? What is it called? A castaway, throwaway. What is it?
It's called oh god,
what's the term?
Breakaway civilization.
Civilization.
Yeah,
I kind of buy into this. Now let's say let's go down this rabbit hole with me, and let's say we buy into this. Now somebody mentioned in the chat about red mercury,
Right? Yeah,
and
that's to do with the deglocker.
Well, let's say there is a breakaway civilization out there.
Yeah.
Could they have not maybe, because they would have the means and the technology, if they have the environment to live, which, let's face it, it's quite possible. It's quite possible.
I mean, with the technology and what they managed to do, but the thing is, with Antarctica, there's only so far you can go. I mean, if we was going to be talking about a breakaway civilization, I would have thought it would be like Argentina, the high islands of like Spain and stuff like that. That's where the breakaway civilizations. I mean, there was a TV show going into, I believe it was in Argentina, like Bariloche, I think, and they were interviewing these people that were sort of descendants from descent Nazis. I said the word, sorry, but they were literally the grandchildren, and they were saying, "Oh, how proud we are, grandfather." It's like flipping colonies of the German civilizations in Spain, and these were descendants, that people that escaped from the Third Reich. So that's what I'm talking about, breakaway civilization. But if we're going to
that to me ain't a break. That's just a bunch. I'm thinking of a whole community.
There is a community when you look at it, but I understand what you're saying is that right underneath the ice caverns that there was a civilization.
It's quite possible, because like with the volcanic, soon, and or could this been a civilization that was always there?
Bring up Mike's.
Mike.
Yeah.
Mike. Where are you? Where are you, Mike?
He's there, mate. I'm looking at it. Mike D. Vars.
Is that right? Is that the comment?
No. Don't worry about it. Let's just move on. Anyway, but he's talking about like deglocker. That's like a whole different subject. I mean, if you're saying that, I presume you're saying that the craft was deglocker related. It's like, man, deglocker was a whole different project all on its own, that gave off great background radiation. Plus, it needs to be linked up to a power plant for it to actually fly. We haven't even finished a show on German flying saucers. We haven't got deglocker yet. That's the only one show we haven't done. We left anti-gravity flying saucers. I could say that I'm not denying that they could have possibly built something, but in terms of what evidence there is, there's not really much to go by. But what you saw, I need to go back to the question, what you were saying about the underground civilization. I should have mentioned that Admiral Byrd did go, when he was taken over, his plane was taken over, he was led to this underground civilization. And he met these aliens that were, I guess, they were blonde hair, blue eyed, 6 foot tall. And they were saying that we need to stop nuclear war and peace on Earth and all the shebang that goes with it that we've heard 1,000 times before. But this is the thing. If anybody's read about the Vril energy, which was about, there was a book called The Coming of the Race that came out in 1981. 1871. And this was about an underground civilization called the Vril Ya that used the power of Vril to cure things and destroy planets and stuff like that. So it sounds very similar to that. So you can kind of work out the stories and go in, well, hold on a minute. This kind of, why didn't any of this sort of came out even before the 90s and everything like that? Why did it's like various speculations, because yeah, mate, it's like when I was researching into it, especially when it comes to internet stuff, this is where you're led down so many different avenues, and you're going, what the bloody hell am I going down? Like this, like there's so much wacky stories that don't really have any substance. You know what I mean?
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, my cat is so annoying me at the moment. God, yeah. Like in and out, in and out.
Maybe the thing is, see, I do believe there's a civilization out there.
Underground.
And maybe, yeah, I do believe. See, I've always believed in hollow Earth.
Oh, sure.
So
if you look at like old maps from like 17th century, even like the 18th century, you see Antarctica looking completely different. And they were doing expeditions in the 18th century as well. But what you will actually find out, you find these like multitude of islands, like separate islands. That is not a current map. So I'm not ruling that out, brother. Honestly, I think there's definitely something. I mean, if you look at Antarctica at the moment, bring up my
I can't do it.
What, you too stoned?
No, I can't do it. I'm messing around. Did you just?
Okay,
did you just?
Oh,
okay,
lips, mate. Mate, I'll never do that on screen. How dare you think I'll do something like that? Glocker powered by water turbine. No. no. Ooh, hold on a minute. Time out. Right, first of all.
Uh-oh. You've upset him, guys. You went and done it now.
Hold on.
You went and done it.
Okay.
How could you?
This is the problem with internet. And it drives me up the bloody wall, mate. Sorry. So, if you want to know about Glocker, anything about Glocker, go to the original source. Where did it all come from? This is it. When it comes to research, is what, where, why? Where did this come from? Who's giving this information? Why am I receiving this information? Buy this book by the guy who broke the story on Glocker. Is Igor Wachowski, who wrote several books in the early 90s, and it's called The Truth About the Wunderwaffe, which means the wonder weapon. Okay, and this goes in here, and it tells you everything about the Bell Project. Okay. And it's not what the internet says. Okay, the History Channel, who, by the way, bloody gave me a copyright. Thank you very much. They said, Glocker was flying around. And it's like, dude, if you do your research, yes, there was red mercury called Serum 25, but it needed to be linked to a power plant to power this thing. And it gave off horrendous background radiation. But yeah, if you want to know anything about Glocker, ignore the internet because it's full of crap. Go buy this book. It's everything you need to know about it. No, I'm going to be honest. I'm actually going to be honest. And if you want more information on it, there is Joseph P. Farrell's book, which I don't have here. And he's written 2 books on, it's called SS Brotherhood of the Bell. And there was another one that breaks down the whole physics of the bell. And it's not what the History Channel says, because they are absolutely no, they're really good actually. No, History Channel is actually really good channel. I love Ancient Aliens. Oh my god, mate, I should have never. But yeah, bring up this photograph before I let myself look like tit. So you want to talk about underground civilizations, mate? What does that look like to you? And this is taken from Antarctica.
Looks like a mountain.
But what? Go on. More woo.
It's like a photoshopped mountain.
How dare you insult my photoshopped image? No, this is apparently a real photograph from Antarctica that looks like a pyramid. Doesn't it?
It does. It most certainly does.
It does look like a pyramid. And
who took it?
From that angle, it does, isn't it?
No, who took it?
No idea. This is Google for you. This is our research. This is how I research. Internet. Hold on. Let's bring this up. So, Antarctica pyramid. It's even got, you can actually find it on Google Earth as well. Right.
Cool.
I'm gonna bring this up and we can have a little look. Which is that there. You got it?
Yeah.
Cool. So if you type in Antarctica pyramid, you get a load of Photoshop images, quite rightly so. But this is apparently spotted on Google Maps.
Yeah, it looks
That gonna
like a
come up?
set of. It looks like a set of 3 of them.
No, you could say one side because you can see the snow has been falling on
Yeah.
one certain area.
And then the one over here too.
Mm,
I'd like to
So-
see. Could you get that any bigger? I know.
she said.
I'd like to.
Hold on. Let's see if we can bring this up.
I'd like to look at that a bit. That's quite interesting because that straight away I'm thinking pyramids of Egypt. How that's lined up. Not, but I think they're a bit more further apart.
Check that out. See if that's any better. I mean, if you look at pyramids alone, I mean, there's even like ones on Mars and everything, and throughout the world. So I wouldn't be surprised, going back millions of years ago, you would have pyramids, especially in
Indeed.
this sort of region. I mean, there's some unproved treasures we haven't even found in Antarctica. It's absolutely crazy. You know, I think this is why you had, because what you don't realize, right, Hidden, is that there's an actual treaty to stop people from going from a certain area. So the Russians have their territory, the British have their territory, and you have the Americans have their territories, and they're literally did take over the part of New Schwabenland, what the Germans had taken over. In fact, Admiral Byrd, right, he suggests to actually stop using Nevada testing range for testing nuclear weapons at that time, around about the 1940s, and we should be nuking New Schwabenland in Antarctica, and he did suggest that. And there's a very interesting coalition. Could you remember the flyovers, the Washington flyovers of the UFOs in the 1950s? There's a very famous photograph of the Washington DC, and you see these objects, like these balls of light, and it was in the 1950s. Oh no, shall I bring it up? Let's bring it up. Because this is, if you look at like the coalition between this, I don't know, Washington DC UFO.
And you're going to say with the flyovers that they said were happening with them out in sea.
Well, what happened is that if I bring this photograph, this is quite interesting because I'm going to show you. You got that? There we go. So there's a lot of fake photographs of the Washington DC flyovers that happened in 1952, I believe. I get my ufology right on this one, and you can see these objects flying over Washington, and this happened on a continuous day for 9 days, like that. That's a fake one. That is from a great channel called History Channel, and they don't lie at all. They're absolutely brilliant. But yeah, they're this is an actual photograph.
You're breaking my balls here.
No, honestly, no, I love History Channel. It's actually brilliant. This is an actual photograph here, mate.
If only you guys know what's happening. My man's breaking my balls here.
Oh, mate, sorry, I don't mean to like beat you down, brother. But yeah, this was an actual photograph taken from the flyovers, right? And what happened, what people don't realize, is that the Americans actually set off a nuclear bomb.
Sorry, John.
So yeah, someone actually set off a nuclear bomb. Hey, John, how's it going, mate? How's it going?
Sorry, man. I'm seeing several right now. I'm that high. I'm playing with you,
oh
man.
My God. But yeah, so the Americans actually set off a nuclear bomb the day before the sightings happened, and there's some various speculations that actually this was like to say, right, you bomb our area,
Yeah.
this is what you're dealing with here. So
because I'll tell you what's very interesting in that one that you say that was I seen I think it's on the internet as well. I think everybody could see this, but I saw footage of the test bombs when they were testing them.
Oh right, yeah.
And there's a couple of them where these orbs, they just appear and fly off.
Ah, I've seen that. Yeah, very
Have you
common at the
seen it?
moment. Yeah, yeah. Honestly, there's
No,
loads of them.
These were back then.
Oh, about that. Oh, right. Okay.
Back then, yeah.
Wow.
And I'm sure you can see them on the internet now. Where's the video? Did you promise a video for somebody?
I've got a video of Admiral Byrd. If you fancy that.
Yeah, let's check out. Did he say anything interesting?
We'll see. We'll see. I remember it was quite fascinating. Right, let's bring this up. Let's do this.
You missed ours, but I'll try and catch you up in a bit. I don't want to get too high too soon.
Right. Honestly, mate, this is yeah.
Moderation,
bro.
John's out there catching these.
Hell yeah.
Mm.
Right. Bring it up, brother.
Catch him. So here it is. Hold on. Who where's this coming from? This ain't from BBC, is it?
No, this is old school stuff. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me just double check. This is Public Research Org. I don't know. Do you want to risk it for a biscuit?
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah, it's not BBC. Or
the word public could be misconstrued. Because to me, if you're saying you're public, that means you're open to everyone, innit?
I suppose so. Yeah.
So there
We'll send our praises. Right, let's do this.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
For educational purposes only.
The Longines Whitnall Watch Company. Make correspondent, and Kenneth Crawford, National Affairs Editor of Newsweek magazine. Our very distinguished guest for this evening is Admiral Richard E. Byrd.
The North Pole used to be a no man's land, but these are the days when, by buying a ticket on a commercial airliner, you can fly across the North Pole and drink a cocktail at the same time. You know, only 30 or more years ago, about 35 years ago, our guest tonight found out whether there was any land north of the North American continent. He made that first discovery flight, and I must say that Admiral Byrd, our guest tonight, is not only our greatest living explorer, but he's been an inspiration to countless Americans. Admiral Byrd, you've been to both the North Pole and the South Pole. Is there any unexplored land left on this earth that might appeal to adventurous young Americans?
Yes, there is. And not up around the North Pole, because it's getting crowded up there now, because they find out it's really usable, not only to live in, but militarily. But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being.
Listen.
And that's beyond the pole on the other side of the South Pole from Middle America. And I think this is your breakaway civilization. So you're saying there's something behind the Antarctic sheet. Listen. Quite astonishing that there should be an area as big as that unexplored.
This is a tremendous
So
challenge.
there's a lot of adventure left down at the bottom of the world.
Admiral, do you hope to see that?
I do.
Well, Admiral,
Yeah.
would you say that since you've been to both the extremities of Earth, are these expeditions to such far-off places, are they getting easier because of modern techniques, or is danger still close at hand?
Well, it's a little risky, but nothing like it used to be with the old slow planes and the small cruising radius where we had to put down bases. We replaced the dog teams, and of course that was a big improvement. But now the planes go much faster and they are safer and they have a much bigger cruising radius. You haven't got the danger of a terribly heavy load.
Admiral, an expedition to which I believe you're the advisor is now en route. What is that expedition doing?
Well, that's the icebreaker Atka, and it's a reconnaissance expedition. It's going down to the South Pole area to make certain observations and to look for some bases. They will be back in April, and they will report back, and upon the information we get from that undertaking, we will base the bigger expedition that's to follow.
Is that very...
So that's an excerpt from the man himself, Admiral D. Byrd, who, by the way, his cousin something Byrd, I can't remember. He actually owned the book depository in Dallas, Texas.
Whoa.
Yes. Yes. And it's all linked to aerospace. Now, there's one thing I should mention. I don't know if anyone in chat has actually put this out as well. That there was a Secretary of State called James Forrestal. Have you heard about this?
No.
Another fact is we ourselves have underground bunkers and buildings as well. Oh yeah, especially underground civilization. I mean, if you look at like Germany during World War II, I know they had a lot of slave labor, right? But they've managed to build like a city, like an underground tunnel system underneath Germany, the size of Germany. It's unbelievable, like what they managed to do in a very much short period of time. But you think, mate, how did they manage to fund Operation Highjump? Because they literally.
Good point.
Well, would you like to? I found some information in that book that I just read. Okay, and I think this is actually worth mentioning. 2 seconds. I'm just going to find it through my. Every time I do notes, I overdo it. Like put way too much information on there. Hold on, guys. 2 seconds.
Well, nice to see you in the house. I'm just going to say who's 420 with me. But this is kind of interesting, though. Well, it's not kind of interesting. It is very interesting.
Is the thing is that type of subject, guys, is where it's all about woo until you get to the diaries. Well, until I actually get to the diaries, it all goes a bit woo, to be honest with you. So, in regards of who funded this,
why? Because he himself said there's something over there that needs looking at.
Yeah, because he's what he's alluding to is that look, there's something past the Antarctic ice sheet, and going what his diaries are saying. Now, I haven't seen the proper manuscripts, the actual original. This is it. This is what makes me, we've seen those pages, but it's probably not the real deal, so to speak. Hidden. So
it's up to you like, if you want to stop there or if you want to continue.
Yeah, it's almost we're going down the trust me, bro route here. Fantastic stories, but doesn't really lead anywhere. But go back to the question I was saying that where did this funding come from? Okay, but this is what people don't really realize. Okay, so the Guinness Book of Records after the Second World War was the greatest unsolved robbery when the whole Reich Bank treasury was emptied from all its money. Even the Berlin banks were completely emptied. And then the headquarters for the World Monetary Funds in Brussels, Switzerland, found out that 15 billion Reichstags couldn't been counted for after the war. 15 billion. Now you calculate that in interest this year, in 2025. Okay.
Hold on.
Oh God, are you dying again, Hayden? For Christ. Thoughts and prayers for your throat, mate. Honestly, for Christ's sake. But that is a true. Are you muted? Oh, okay, it's fine. That's all right. Yeah. Don't die on me, for Christ's sake, Hidden. So yeah, that is a fun fact for you guys. They couldn't figure out 15 billion Reichstags. Obviously, there were a lot of counterfeiting with money. I believe there was something called Operation Burnt Heart. So that type of money, mate, is it's a lot. When you think about it, even back for 1945. Time period. So prayers and thoughts for your throat, brother. So I think I said that, and I didn't mean it in a dirty way. Oh man.
It's just your name, man.
Yeah. Oh
God. You please never leave the live shows. Never leave the live shows, man.
I love it. That's it. We need a laugh now. We just in 2025. We just need a laugh. So yeah, that's a fun fact for you guys. A lot of money went missing, and where that money went to? I mean, the Soviets went there. The Americans got in as well. The
So
British.
Do you think everybody had a little divvy in it?
Yes.
Spoils of war.
I think so. If you think of like 3 people went missing who were head of the German party, so to speak. Hans Kammler, he was the head of all top secret programs. He obviously went in the U-boat with Mustachio Man and went into Argentina. So follow the money. That's what I would say, Hans Kammler. Martin Bormann, who was head of the German party. He went missing after the war. And there's another one as well. Did I say Martin Bormann? Hans Kammler. There was someone else, but there was someone else as well when he was like really high up. I can't remember his name now, but they dug up his grave saying, yes, he's definitely here. Don't worry about this. And they dug up it. No, not him. I can't remember his bloody name. It's going to annoy me now, but they dug his grave up and found out it was empty. And he went missing after the war. But you think Operation Paperclip, you're only told about the 13 or 1600 scientists. There were way more than that, and a lot of them went into the intelligence agency. And like guarantee, mate, with the JFK files come out, I think a lot of it's going to be rejected, in my opinion. But it is going to link up to the UFO files. Martin Bormann, yeah, John, I think that's it. Martin Bormann.
Where were you?
Yeah. Yeah, Hans Kammler, Rudolf Hess. No, Rudolf Hess was banged up in jail, wasn't he? Oh man, all these words are slipping my mind. But yeah, I think I'm right, mate. Martin Bormann, definitely, they dug up his grave and found out that it was actually empty. So yeah, whether or not he went to the Russians' hands or the Americans, who knows, really. So Heinrich. Oh man, that is a word I can't even say. How'd you say that, Hidden?
Reinhard Dick.
Oh man, that's the bloke you're looking for. Okay, mate. Yeah, I'll do Google search of that.
It was pretty close. Heinrich Heydrich. Reinhard. Okay. Whoops.
You swore. Oh, Hidden.
Oops.
Naughty boy. Hold on, I'm just going to Google this guy's name. Oh, who's this? Oh, yeah. Oh, he's an ugly motherfucker. Oh, my God. He's got a massive nose. I know I didn't say it. So that guy there, Reinhard Heydrich, he was a high-ranking German SS officer, police officer during the era. Oh, nasty bastard.
Ooh.
Sorry. But yeah, I think that rings a bell as well. There was another guy called Otto Lang or something like that. I don't know. Oh, mate, I'm not in the right mood at the moment. Jesus Christ. So yeah, there's various speculations over the years of what actually happened in Antarctica, and it's a lot of the conspiracies behind it real boils down to the Werner von Braun as well. Yeah, Werner von Braun, head of the
Oh, I'm glad you could read that one. I was going to call him Wiener Braun.
Wiener von Braun. Actually, mate, do you want to know a little fun fact? I think people might know this in chat. So Werner von Braun, do you know who he is?
No.
Okay, so Werner von Braun, he was a German scientist, and he built the V1 and V2 rocket that blew this country up, right? So then he was employed. We went through Operation Paperclip, technically from Nuremberg trials, from Operation Paperclip into America, and he's the one that built the rocket that allegedly took the Americans to the moon. And he not only this, Hidden, he written a book in the 1970s about an inventor at a space adventure who wanted to literally go to Mars, literally visit Mars. And the character was called Elon.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember all that, man.
I had a look at his book, and it's like $500 on eBay.
So what was Jack Parsons? Because I thought Jack Parsons was the guy who built the rocket to get us to the.
No, I think what happened, I believe so. Maybe that was previously before Germany, but I believe, especially like in Pendemunda, where
No, I'm not saying like no German scientists went to NASA because NASA's quite open about that.
Yeah.
It's not a conspiracy theory. It's actually a fact. And NASA is quite open about that. They did have some German defectors over there.
Yeah, sure.
Defectors. I'm glad I corrected myself on that.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because you can almost make these connections, can't you?
So what was Jack Parsons' involvement in that? Because I know Jack Parsons through the occult side of NASA or their history.
Jack Parsons never rings a bell. I'm not too sure who he is, mate. Jack Parsons
and NASA.
Should I bring this up?
Yeah, let's see, because my memory's cloudy. But when you said about that guy with the rocket, I was Jack Parsons' name screamed out like he did that.
Yeah. Oh, hold on, mate. Sorry, wrong one. Idiot. There we go. That's the one. There we go. Right, Jack Parsons. He was an American rocket engineer, chemist, and occultist. Oh my god!
Yeah, he was an occultist.
He was an occultist. Parsons was one of the principal founders of both Jet Propulsion Laboratory and the Aerojet Engineering Corporation. He invented the first rocket engine to use a capsule composite rocket.
Never mind.
Hang on, what date was that? 1942. Yeah, I guess the Americans were almost like trying to play catch up with the Germans, which were ahead of their time when in terms of like rocket propulsion, even like with practically everything that he did, really, when you look at it, really. I'm not glorifying, that certain, the people there, but they really did, like, they were so ahead of their time.
He's a very Jack Parsons and his occult side is very interesting.
Yeah,
because then it gets all into the Aleister Crowley kind of stuff, and
oh, hold on, I got to bring this up then.
But Jack Parsons used to actually do ceremonies out there in the deserts and stuff, and it was known. It wasn't secretive. NASA knew about it.
Bring this up, bruv. I know this is Wikipedia, but this is quite interesting because I just clicked on that. Was it Thelemia?
I'm not even at this stage. In this stage, I'm not going to try and read anything.
Is a Western esoteric and occult social and spiritual philosophy and a new religion movement founded in the early 19th century by Aleister Crowley, an English writer. Mr. Crowley.
You're so misunderstood.
He was an English writer, mystic, occultist, and ceremonial magician. Could we do a episode on Aleister Crowley? Is that too hot topic for YouTube? Do you think you're right with that or not?
Not at all. Not at all, man.
Because to be honest with you, I haven't really researched into like Aleister Crowley. I believe when people do, weird shit happens. Yeah, well, I heard. Yeah, this is it. And apparently, if you really get into it, like weird stuff happens.
I really got into it, and the only weird thing that happened was like I saw a different. I saw something else.
All right. What do you mean, like Black Shadow? Because I see that here.
No, nothing like that, man. Nothing like that. Just
bad.
I don't understand, man. I don't understand.
It's probably best not to understand, really.
Indeed.
You know, I think when it did Aleister Crowley deal with like channeling and stuff like that, because he
Well,
drew that alien, didn't he?
well, it was an interdimensional being is what he called it, and
Right.
it kind of met him. It met him when he was out in Egypt, if I remember
Right.
rightly.
That.
Yeah, Lamb, because that was the book of Lamb, and it was just basically an indoctrinant into the magical arts.
That's one ugly. Yeah. I should give birth to that.
But you see that, and then you see the kind of gray aliens kind of routine.
It's the head, isn't it? This is it.
Yeah,
this
the bulbous head.
This is what makes me think about like
I'm building up.
with like aliens, right? If you look at it from like the 1960s, I've got an old book here. Sorry, not an old book, an old magazine. Let's get this off the screen. So I got that one. This is from the 1960s, and it's telling you like UFO sightings and stuff like that. But it talks about what aliens are. Doesn't even mention, mate, the grey aliens with their heads, you know, with the big eyes, the traditional grey aliens, you know.
This is the whole thing, because remember what Crawley called him, Lamb. He didn't call him an alien. He called him an interdimensional being. He never called him a demon either. He called him an interdimensional being. And I half agree with your statement, Sherry. That's why I put it up. I agree that he did find the old books because his background was very interesting, and that's what led him to get kicked out of the Freemasons. Because when he went into the Freemasons, he was like a kid in the candy shop, because he had access to the library, and that is what you want. Forget the ceremonies and all that. That's all. It's the library. It's the library. It's whatever goes on in there. You can speculate. It's whatever. It's the library, and that's what Crawley knew. And he went to the library, and like you said, he got them old books, because what got him kicked out of the Masons is they said this is alleged what they said, right? And I'm not quoting it word for word, but they basically said, look, whatever we're doing here, we're doing it for giggles. Yeah? And giggles.
Yeah.
But my man, Mr. Crawley, he's doing it for real. And that's what scares him. So this is, once he left the Freemasons, he went over to Scotland. Guess where in Scotland he went?
Not Class?
Not Loch Ness. He had himself a little place up there.
Right.
And this is where he was still practicing. And this is the whole thing about, and you know, was it Jimmy Page? I believe Jimmy Page bought his place out there, yeah? Because Jimmy Page was practicing the magic too. But the story goes with Crawley now is he opened up a portal. Now, what this portal was to do is alleged. It's many different things are said. Yeah, see? Sorry. It was Jimmy Page. I'm sure it was Jimmy Page. Bought his mansion, and he was practicing magic out there too. All right. I hope you agree. I believe that. I wasn't there, so I can't sit there and say he wasn't, but I believe he was.
Would you say David Bowie was part of that crowd as well?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because he was into like the dark arts, wasn't he?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
There's not just monsters in Loch Ness, UFOs as well.
Yeah. Because what I'm saying is he opened up a portal, and this is where Mr. Crawley's life changed. This is where it all changed. While he opened up this portal, I believe it was the golden circle. I think or Golden Dawn. It could be the Golden Dawn. That's screaming out in my head. This is all long time stuff. This is stuff about 20 years ago. I did some hard research on him, but they got involved and they took him away from this castle. So he never closed this portal.
So it's left open.
And this is where he went on his trip because they saw the power that he had. They saw what this guy could do. That's why I half agree with what you said on that statement, because I don't think he was mental. I think the drugs got the better of him. Yes, because he also was out in Europe. He went, I believe it was in Italy. Am I correct? Golden Dawn. Thank you. I was right with that. Golden Dawn. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm old, and this is a long time ago. I did my research into him because it led me down the line. But anyways, he was out, and I believe it was in Italy. And his place in Italy, man, is blocked off. You can't even go there. And that's alleged to be properly haunted. But that was where he kind of got into his drug kind of addiction and his sex things, and he was, sacrificing and stuff.
Yeah. Well, the thing is a bit like the Germans. They took the occult practices seriously, too seriously. And the thing is, it worked to a certain degree.
Yeah.
And this is the scary thing. You look at Aleister Crowley, you look at like the Germans, what they were doing in the 1920s with the Tauler Society and really bringing up this. I mean, even someone mentioned about the Vril here in chat. Who said about the Vril? Philip Shepard, he mentioned about the Vril. And that is almost like this mystical force.
Crowley, I'll tell you what, if the drugs never got him and the Golden Dawn never got him, I think we would have seen a different person, because he was on the path. Because the path you're on, you could do good or you could do bad. And the Golden Dawn got a hold of him and he went down that path. I would have liked this. Yeah, very bad. Very bad. But if he went the other way, could you imagine the very good he could have done? Kind of like if we had a Nikola Tesla run society where his inventions were looked at seriously, or the fact that money could be made was taken off the table. And we could use Nikola Tesla's designs. Could you imagine that?
Oh, what would be like now? Yeah. We'll have cell phone technology back in the 1920s, someone mentioned about Vril. I mean, I was scheduled to interview someone today. Could you remember someone? Do you know someone called Serena?
Arville, the part of the Council of the Nine.
Council of the Nine, not too sure. I'm not too sure on that again. Council of the Nine. No, I don't think so. I mean, I've been studying Vril, and there's no mention of that. Yeah, his name was Dr. John Trump, who went in after when Tesla died and took all his patents, and even the death ray. Heard about the death ray? They took the patents for that as well. It's amazing to think, like, where was it the Winchester Tower? Is that right, chat? You built this huge tower that gave off was supposed to like free energy, and then eventually threw it down. She pop up. How's it going?
Here you go. I'm building up. Well, that was energy. The tower that they had to blow up with dynamite.
Yeah,
that was his energy tower.
Yeah,
that was like as he was going to throw the switch. Westinghouse said to him, "Can I make a dime on this?" He said no. He said, "Turn the switch off." Don't.
What was it called? Was it the
something like that?
Something Winchester might. Yeah.
Out in New York, wasn't it?
That's
Was
it.
it New York or New Jersey?
I think it might have been Chicago, mate. I'm not too sure. But
I don't think it was just Chicago, because Chicago, that was the World Fair, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was the World Fair. Yeah.
Because the interesting fact was, while the World Fair was going on, there was probably one of America's most prolific serial killer operating then, called H.H. Holmes.
Yes, he had the house that had all the different rooms.
He had the hotel, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, mate. Do you think we could do an episode on true crime? Because me and the missus, we're like interested in true crime. I mean, I'm going to talk about that. Yeah, like huge.
Hell yeah.
Like, do you know someone called Ed Gein?
Oh yeah, he was around yesterday.
Of
course, I know who Ed Gein is. Yeah.
There was actually a museum. Actually, mate. But if we could do like an episode on it, that'd be amazing, because I'll be well happy to do that. And the place is called Wardenclyffe Tower. That's it. I couldn't figure the name. This was the big tower that Tesla built.
And it was built to so much strength. Didn't they have to blow it up twice? Or something that?
But people were saying that, oh no, that's just put there to actually give radio signals, not to give energy. And that's the speculation on that one, mate.
I don't know, man, because if Tesla said that's what he did, I believe Tesla.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I'm gonna get rolling up.
Cool. Well, I'm not. Oh man, that's terrible.
So where are we at with this now? Are we finished with the Admiral Byrd?
Yeah, I mean, what avenue you really go down, guys? It's his diary says, look, something happened in Antarctica. It's a bit like Roswell. Something happened, something suspicious. Whether or not the Germans actually established bases there, whether or not they had a UFO base there, I doubt that very much, in my opinion. Whether or not there was an actual attack on the battleship that we heard on Wi-Fi's video. Also, we need to talk about the instruments going haywire, and you need to take all that, and you're thinking, why is there a border to stop people going into Antarctica? People said, oh no, you can go there. I was like, yeah, but you're just seeing if the penguins are gay. You're just seeing penguins. You're not actually going straight, like Admiral Byrd said, across the ice sheet, and you're seeing all these uncharted territories that has also been taken over and is not on our map. So there's definitely something going on, and whether or not there's some sort of alien technology. I mean, like the pyramid we showed you hidden, there's something deep in the ice sheet. And I think not long ago, the Russians actually found an underground base that the Germans actually had, and it had food still already like preserved, because Antarctica is like one big ice sheet. I mean, there's one aspect about why the Germans went to Antarctica is that the fact that it's one big freezer. I mean, you think rust doesn't exist, germs won't survive. It's like food would be preserved, so it has many different aspects to it, really. So whether or not they actually established a base there, which was the whole point of Operation Paperclip, so oh no, it's there to test mining and equipment and weaponry and clothing. It's like, no, you brought a whole army in full battle draft gear into Antarctica. There's something suspicious about that. And that's my theories on that, personally.
Now, my theory in this is it's been an time belief, very long time belief that there is a civilization in Antarctica. Now, I believe somebody at the beginning of the show wrote it, and I'm going to try and say it right. Asgardia.
Yeah.
Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Now, like you said, during World War II, Mr. Mustachio was very interested in the occult, but he was also interested in many aspects of how he could win the war.
Yeah.
Now,
Spirit Destiny.
Also, so what if he bought into these old maps and thought, you know what, it's worth a butcher. Let's go out there, and
Sure.
maybe some of them decided to stay. But what if this was the actual civilization that was there? They may have gone a different way.
If you look at, like, for instance, in the 1920s, there was something called the Anunnab. I don't know if you heard about that. So this was an expedition brought out by the Germans in the 1920s, and they actually went into Tibet because that's where the origins of the Aryan race. Because what people don't realize is that a lot of what the German the philosophy is based upon the Hindu religion. If you look at the swastika, it's a Hindu symbol taken back thousands of years. They just literally just flipped it the other way, and so they had their philosophy started to bring up in the 1920s. But in regards of the underground civilization in terms of Antarctica, I think they possibly knew, like you were saying, through the maps and the stories. For instance, what I mentioned about the coming of the new race by Edward D. Leighton, that talks about the underground civilization called the Vril Ya, which talks about the Vril. So, and that was very popular back in the late 18th century. So you had all these stories, and if you look at like publications hidden, like for instance, actually I've got this already up here because I'm going to do an episode on it. I'm going to bring this up, and this is actually quite important because the people that actually, I think Sherry, you mentioned about Vril. You want to go check this out, because this is part of my German flying saucer research. Okay, so this is a publication which is all in German, and this is called Vril, the Cosmic Primal Force, Rebirth of Atlantis. So we got Atlantis here, which kind of links into Antarctica. So these stories were very popular back in the late 18th to early 19th century. And if you go through this book, it's all in German, but I've been translating it. It talks about Vril force and is mentioned a lot of the god Shiva. The Shiva is the god of light and destruction, I believe. Oh my god, it's been like my brain at the moment. I just can't even think at the moment. But this is a very interesting publication. This part here talks about Vril and the power of the force. Is because Vril is much like Piranha or Chi. It's like the life force, basically, which just tends to be forgotten. But if you want to go check that out, I'm going to put that in the description now. So if anyone wants to know about Vril, you'll have to translate that yourself. But you can see here, what you can see here hidden is that this is a publication that came out in the 1930s. 1930s this came out in Germany. It's only a 25p pamphlet, but it's talking about Atlantis, some sort of underground civilization. And this is what it's talking about. So these stories are very much popularized at that time. So I'm not saying that's necessarily brought over to the conspiracies of Operation Paperclip. It could well be. But you have to keep that open-minded about, look, there are a lot of stories about these, like Atlantis, which is kind of what they speculated was in Antarctica. So with that and the Anunnab, the expeditions into Tibet, and you can see in Tibet, there are Germans who are actually measuring the Tibetan.
Are they saying that Atlantis was in Antarctica?
Allegedly, yeah. Back, I mean, things have changed now because of the internet and different speculations, but originally it was somewhere near Antarctica. Originally, yeah. So, yeah, this is a publication called Vril, the Cosmic Primal Force, Rebirth of Atlantis. And there we go for that one. So I'll just put that in description so you can go check that out. So, yeah, interesting stuff, mate. But you can see a lot of speculation of this woohoo stuff seems to be put into the psyche of Operation Highjump, and what the Germans were doing in Antarctica, basically. So probably finding some suppressed technology, something deep. I mean, literally, why were they going underneath the ground? Probably looking for the hollow earth. And this is it. Yes, this is the bloody thing I forgot to mention: the hollow earth theory. The hollow earth theory. which is what you're talking about, the breakaway civilization. So that's
not necessarily, because again, look at what the old maps that showed you Asgardian, the land called Asgardian that's there.
Yeah.
So not necessarily a breakaway, not necessarily from a German breakaway civilization, but just possibly a civilization that was there probably as long as we.
Sure, millions of years ago, and our ancestors sort of taken over, sort of inherited. It's a bit like the pyramids, isn't it? But there's a lot of speculation that the pyramids was inherited by these people, and it was originally there for like hundreds of thousands of years, potentially millions of years. Who knows? Incredible structure, isn't it? So it's all a big mystery, isn't it? It's great to speculate, but in one way, you're never gonna get the answers. A bit like Roswell. We can talk about Roswell until we're blue in the face, but you never get the answers to it. You know? Some Native Americans have stories about underground ant people. That's interesting, because apparently the ant people looks like the Peruvian aliens.
We'll see now. Do you remember that famous story that came out about the in Los Angeles about the underground kind of labyrinth or whatever? And he encountered what he called the reptilians.
We're not talking about Phil Schneider, yeah?
No, not Phil Schneider, man. Not Phil Schneider. Not Phil. It was in a newspaper about some Never mind.
I don't know. I never heard of that, mate. I never heard of that, mate. No, I haven't. No.
I'm sure it was in LA. Do I gotta Google? I'm gonna have to Google.
You'll have to Google it, mate. So what is this supposed to be then? An underground cavern that they've been discovered, and they found some sort of alien artifact or something? Oh, he's Google searching. It's gone silent. How dare you gone silent on me?
I'm already spelling it wrong.
Yeah. Oh my god. What an interesting episode. Honestly, I really overdone it with the notes on here. It's actually jumping at mess. But it's hilarious nevertheless. Hilarious. So yeah, thanks to everyone in chat. As always. You're always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
God, I'm not gonna find it, because it's showing me like tunnels and stuff.
Didn't
I think it dated back? No, the thing is, I think it dated back to the 50s.
Yeah.
And he worked for like the city. He had a reason to be down there, and he's come across whatever he did.
Okay.
You make sure that one. Oh man. Okay. Look, let's speed on. So we're done with the Phil Schneider. Phil Schneider. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say good night. I'm gonna say good night to Monkey Sidley Do. Good night, brother.
Good night. I think because Rebecca's. Are you going, Rebecca? Because we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Hold on now. This is what's been going on in my world now. Now I had the privilege of dropping not one but two cool videos. Did you see the one that I did it as a short because
yeah. Is it the one that's got the figure in the clouds?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, that I have to admit, I saw that. I had to click the like button just for you, brother. But that looked pretty damn. If that was computer generated,
we're gonna show it. We're gonna show it. Well, that's why it's Rebecca. That's why it's in the real or fake files, man. It's a little thing that I like to do. Sometimes I will throw in things in the real or fake files that I know is fake, but I think it's pretty cool. But this one now. There's one. Oh, I forgot how to do this, man. Help. I need somebody help. Not just anybody help. Won't you please help me?
I'm just going through Twitter to see if I've got anything I can show, but no, unfortunately, I don't.
Okay, we'll get this up.
Let's have a look. I tell you what, there's a new AI video of Einstein that is just absolutely incredible. I'm going to show it after we've seen this video, mate, because it's absolutely compelling.
Okay. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it.
I'm going to be honest with you. The Beatles, I've never been a fan. As a musician, I appreciate their cultural impact on the music and the music industry. I've been to music college, and I've.
Oh, that's why you look. That's why you're looking into it too deep.
Yeah, I know, man. It just never caught on. But again, I still appreciate what they've done for music. You know,
man, I just think I can appreciate a good tunes, and I just think you know what they threw out some good tunes.
I tell you what, I found a band 2 years ago that no one in England has ever heard of, and any American listeners who's listening to this will probably know this. It's only one album. It was a bunch of session musicians, and it's called Toy Matinee. Has anyone in chat has heard of Toy Matinee? Probably American listeners will know this, but yeah, absolutely fantastic album. Absolutely amazing. Sorry, Hidden.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. And in this installment, we have this strange giant creature that was captured during this lightning strike. So, guys, let's take a look at the clip, and then we'll have a chat afterwards.
It is children's music. Whoa.
Holy fucking shit, guys.
Language, for fuck's sake.
Now, that was a pretty wild clip of this being that some people are estimating to be 125 feet tall. Now, in the clip, we did see this thing move. Now, guys, what do you think? Do you think it's some sort of optical illusion or some natural phenomena, or is it the Grim Reaper himself? Is this real or fake? Well, that's down to you to decide. Welcome back to the Real or Fake.
That is pretty, I have to admit, mate, that is pretty damn good if it is AI or at least Photoshop somehow. Because they got the contrast really well, haven't they?
That's why I'm just going to leave that bit up there. Because, like, it definitely moved, didn't it?
It did, didn't it? I mean, the clouds didn't move that well, like, in terms of, like...
And it looks like it's holding a stick.
Mate, I ain't gonna sleep tonight because of you playing this footage of, like, the Grim Reaper. The size of it, it's bloody terrifying.
I thought it was a cool video. I was toyed with it because I said, you know, if I throw this out, people are going to slam and say that's CGI or it's a reflection on the window or something like that.
No, it's definitely the Grim Reaper, and it's a sign.
It's as real as you want it to be. I just thought it was really cool, though.
Do you find there's a lot of this at the moment, Hidden? Like a lot of real strange stuff.
Oh yeah,
which seems to be like really popular on the internet at the moment. Of just like really weird events. I mean, stuff like this is pretty damn good. I have to admit, very impressive.
You know what? Do you mind? I like it that much. Can I play it one more time?
Yeah, go for it. Let's go and go, cuz.
You know what though? I gotta say, before I play this, somebody commented on that video, and they said this is because the veil is thinning. And you know what? Let's buy into that for a second, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I thought that's very interesting. Now, if it is, let's go on the side that this footage is real. And if that is a real piece of footage,
yeah,
and if that is a glimpse into the veil, then can you only imagine what the hell is behind there?
I wouldn't like to know, mate. the size of that thing. If you think there's one of those, there's going to be a multitude of them. You know, do you know what? I believe there was like this prediction brought not long ago. I seen it on TikTok, and it was saying about the 7. Is it 7 sins or something like that? 7 deadly sins or something like that, and it's talking about different figures or different entities that was supposed to show up this year of 2025, especially around about March, April, May sort of time period. And I believe something like death would show up or appear.
And it's
not making a connection there, but you know, I'm kind of making a connection actually when you think about it. When you see something like that, if it is real, it looks damn real. Play it again. I want to see it one more time.
Welcome back to the Real or Fake Files. And in this installment, we have this strange giant creature that was captured during this lightning strike. So guys, let's take a look at the clip and then we'll have a chat afterwards.
Cool. Holy fucking shit, guys.
Now that was a pretty wild clip of this being that some people are estimating to be 125 feet tall. Now, in the clip, we did see this thing move. Now, guys, what do you think? Do you think it's some sort of optical illusion or some natural phenomena, or is it the Grim Reaper himself? Is this real or fake? Well, that's down to you to decide. Welcome back to the Real or Fake.
Sherry mentions that the Fourth Horseman. Yeah, possibly, Sherry. Possibly.
Yes. See, that's what I was thinking you were saying.
Yeah. It was just a prediction that some girl who was communicating or channeling extraterrestrials through a Ouija board, and this entity called Seven or this alien was gonna give off a date of the end of the world that will happen like May this year, and it mentions about something 7. Or maybe like the Fourth Horseman was going to show up or something like that. Yeah, I know. It's like wacky sort of things. But this is TikTok we're dealing with here, you know.
No. I'm not laughing. Like, you see, I'm at that age. You know what, man? When I was a kid, and I'm gonna say, man, I'm 50.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah. There you go. So I've been hearing this drivel.
Long time, yeah.
Long time coming, man. And there's been many times that I would have bought into it, like, you know, like when it was really bad times for Africa in the 80s,
Yeah.
Man, that's when they were hammering hard, saying, man, the horseman's out. Look, we got famine. You know, I think the only thing we didn't have was like some full-scale war going on. And that no one was reporting on, because there's always conflicts going on in the Middle East and the South Americans. You know, but anyways.
Well, time will tell, mate. Time will tell. We'll see what happens. But a lot of strange stuff happening, especially in the sky.
Yeah, great you brought that, because that brings me into the next video. And this one, I mean, thank you guys, you know, you guys out there, you guys in the chat, man, really pushed this video. But I think it's an awesome piece of video, and I think awesome piece of footage. And I think, you know, let's have a look, man.
Just do it. Let's have a look.
I'm blown away by how much views it's got.
I know. 50,000, mate. Well done.
It's insane. Let's drop it like it's hot. Yeah. Okay, guys, we got this crazy piece of footage of this UFO that was captured by this pilot during his flight. So, guys, let's take a look at the footage, and then we'll have a little chat afterwards. You know, it's too... See, that don't look like no jet. So here's what I know about this footage. This was sighted on January the 6th, 2025, over this area of Colombia. Now, while the pilot was trying to get his plane at the cruising altitude of 22,000 feet, this object came into view. Now, he sighted this object at 14,000 feet. Now, the object goes past his plane, and it is a black, triangular-shaped UFO. Now, for some reason, I'm getting an odd feeling that this UFO was checking out this plane, but maybe that's just me. Now, there is an Easter egg in the footage, and if you look closely, there seems to be another UFO there, a dark circle black object. But guys, what do you think this could be? Is this some military exercise, some visitor from another planet checking out how we fly around? What do you think? So until next time, stay blessed and keep safe. All right, let me catch it somewhere here.
I would say the only thing that resembles, mate, is the B2 stealth. Don't think it. No, that's what it looks like. I don't think that flies vertically.
Right. Well, I'm goes past his plane, and I'm trying to find a good place to stop it. I want a good shot just to stop it, because I don't think this thing's flying. I think this thing's hovering.
Yeah. It's not moving.
I don't believe this is a plane. 100% don't believe it's a plane. Never did when I first saw it. Not when many people are screaming at me and showing me images of planes. I don't buy it, because this thing's not moving. I don't think this thing's moving. I thought this thing went past the plane, but I'm thinking it's stationary and it's the other plane that's moving. Because if this thing was at a descent, this thing would have gone up. It's got to have some. It's got to have some great thrust to keep at that vertical ascent. It's got to. It would have just. It would have just flew right past him. We wouldn't have got that. We wouldn't have got that much. I think that thing's floating. I think it's hovering.
I tell you what, I'm trying to find an aircraft that looks like it. I'm not trying to debunk it, but I've got something here called the LXF 117. I don't know if you want to bring my do you want to bring it up? I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to find.
I don't want to bring it up. Screw you, Nick.
Bloody debunker. Something like that.
That looks good, man. Can it fly vertical?
This is it. This is what I'm trying to find out. I mean, if it looks like that, that's what it looks like on a different angle.
Is that a real image?
Yeah, it's a real image. Yeah. I think. Probably not. But this is what it's I mean, that's the B2 bomber, which is definitely, that doesn't fly vertical. Okay, so we can dismiss that. But I'm not trying to debunk it. It's definitely something like floating there, mate. What's that?
That's the same thing.
Same thing, yeah.
That's the same thing that's in my video. That's probably from another. That's probably from another angle of the video.
Or this one.
Yeah. See, that's the black triangle there.
That was taken 13 years ago.
There you go. Turned up again.
Hold on.
Turned up again.
I'll play it. I've got the video up here.
Of what? Of
that
thing?
Yeah, you got the video of it. Yeah. So this is all new to me. So this was taken 13 years ago and it's got 110,000 views. Just put it a bit bigger, like she said. do you reckon, guys?
Can you put it back to play again?
Yeah, of course I can. There we go. Bear in mind, this was 2000.
I like it. I do like it.
It's good, isn't it?
I would like to hear the plane. I mean, I would like to hear sound. Oh, you got the sound.
Yeah, I just muted it because of the music.
I don't hear no other sound that should be there.
Just to play devil's advocate, right? Why is he filming not in the middle? Why is he focusing on the middle here and not the actual object? Do you see what I mean?
Maybe it's just poor footage.
Maybe he's too stoned.
Some things are like that. You do. I take it this is the general public.
Yeah.
Sometimes the shots ain't that great like that.
So what do you reckon?
Oh, no, it looks good. Man, I'd have that on my channel.
It's good, isn't it? 2012, guys. 2012. So
I'd have that on my channel.
I'll send a link to you if you want.
Nah. It's too old for me.
So yeah, it's interesting. I mean, going back to that aircraft that you showed, you can clearly see it was sat there, and obviously the plane flying is straight past.
I think it's stationary. I think that's a stationary object.
Yeah,
I don't think it's moving, and that's why I can't simply buy into a stealth a jet. I can't buy into a jet because you would see some smoke. There'd have to be some propulsion to make it, even just to hover there.
Yeah, I would say don't look the same. It's just
go on. Carry on.
For instance, that aircraft. Why would it? I mean, if we say it was that aircraft, the TX, something like that, why would it be stationary in that position in the sky? Just for me, that just makes no sense.
Can it even be stationary?
That I don't know. That's a speculation. Trust me, bro. Trust me, Hidden. Yeah, I'm not sure, mate. I'm really not sure.
Well, the thing is, Nick, man. There's a guy that I like. I've showed him before, and I'm going to show him again. I can't pronounce the name of his channel. I mean, now I'm stoned as well, so I can't do it. But he takes a look at. He does digital forensics on the footage.
Okay.
Just to make sure, and he had a look at this footage. He gave his opinion. He didn't have a look at my footage because he got the original, obviously where I got it from or where it was emailed to me from, yada yada. So let's take a look and hear what he had to say. And kudos to this guy. This guy is on X, Twitter.
Oh yeah, I know this.
All right, we got another UAP recorded out of the cockpit window at 14,000 feet. The poster says 22,000, but it's actually 14,000. So this one's pretty interesting, and let's go through the details of it. But first, let's go right to the.
I got it right.
The original post that I pulled this from. This is, I believe, it's over Colombia, Antigua, Colombia. January 6, 2025, airline pilot flying at 22,000. Actually, if you look right here, it's 14,000 feet, right? So it's not actually 22,000, but this is the original post. And there it goes, floating on by.
No, we
black.
can't. I'm trying to catch it.
Two little legs that kind of pop out, almost like it's saying hello. So that's the original post.
We can't get that on every video.
So I did what I usually do is separate it out to a couple different slides so we can take a look at some individual details of it. On the left-hand side, it's zoomed in with a little bit of contrast added so we can see some detail. Center is basically the same, the original post with no change in any of the color space or anything like that, just zoomed in a little bit so we can get some details. And then this is a contrast edge detect so we can see if there's any goofiness in the compression that would show us anything that says this may be nefarious or something isn't right what we're seeing. And from what I could tell here, there's nothing outrageous that I'm seeing. All the compression looks correct. This appears to be something that's actually in the scene. The color of it, meaning the shadows and how it matches the other darks in the frame, line up. So color space wise between foreground, background, and the object are all similar. So I'm not seeing anything in here, nothing in the data or the details that's telling me that this is fake. So I believe that the pilot actually recorded something that he saw floating on by his airplane. Mm-hmm. Here's a different way to present the data. I have edge detect, embossment, and a bunch of adjustments to the color, luminosities, and all that kind of stuff, just to get as much detail as we possibly can. My goal for this was to see if there's any payload hanging off of this, right, to show that this would be, a weather balloon or some other scientific instrument. And as it passes in front of all the light color, you can see there's nothing there. There's no frame. I looked at every frame, and there's not a single frame in here that indicates that there is something hanging off of this. And I also did a very high contrast with more adjustment to the color luminosities, across the different 3 RGB color sources. And again, I don't see anything in here that shows there's any payload or anything hanging off the belly of this thing. So it's not carrying something. So we can eliminate, at least to me, that says we can eliminate like a weather balloon or some other scientific instrument. It still doesn't eliminate balloon altogether, but it eliminates at least that aspect of it. Here we have a pretty good zoom in with the details. So let's take a look at that.
See,
and I just have this looping over and over again so we could see what it looks like, how it's moving, any details that we can pull out of it. And what I see, it's a very flat object, meaning there's very little to no definition to it, right? It's like one color. I don't see any reflections coming off of it. The sun has to be on the other side because we're not seeing any sun reflections here. So I'm assuming the sun is on the far side of this object. Obviously, if it's in 3D space, it's a 3-dimensional object. It's just what's the overall 3-dimensional, shape of it. The most interesting thing are like these
that's what I
landing
said,
legs or engine pods that kind of pop out to maybe control it. I did see that in another video that I did. This video was a really good one to me. It was extremely interesting and believable. I mean, this object, I actually liked it so much I made a 3D printed version of it. But when you looked underneath of it, I did a bunch of stacking and everything to get as much detail as I could. It looked like it had 3 like pods under the bottom that were moving around as the object moved. So I think that's a possibility, right? That's one of the possibilities that these could be part of like a system like that. If it's truly indeed a craft. And yeah, so I mean that's what it could be, right? That's one valid option. Now, there's also another one, and I even hate to bring this up, and it's annoying, these stinking solar balloons. I've seen this now. This will be the second one that I've seen that has a similar shape and a similar movement, right? So here's a bunch of guys that were, I think, doing something. It's like a school thing or whatever. I don't know, but this got away from them, which is actually pretty good for what we can use this video for, to see how the behavior it is once it gets up into, a little bit of altitude and it smooths out. I'll just fast forward so we can see how it moves, right? And now at ground level, right, it's going to be all kinds of crazy air going around. But as it gets higher into the air, it starts to stabilize and it forms this shape. It forms this triangle shape. And this is, that's the object that we're comparing it to. So I'm just showing, right, just what we looked at. And here's an example of something else that we absolutely know is a solar balloon. I have experience with these. If you saw my other video where it was almost identical, the situation where something was filmed out of the window just like this. And it really matched really well. But again, you can see how this moves as it's climbing up in altitude. It forms into that triangle shape, and you can see at the bottom it starts to create these legs that pop down.
No.
And let's go to, and you got to realize, like, as this thing's going up in altitude, the air is going to smooth out a little bit, and it's going to eventually fill up with enough warm air where it's just going to stabilize and just stay put in space and just move along with the air itself. And as this is continuing to rise and fill in what its shape is going to be as it gets higher, you can see it starts to form this triangle, right? It's getting hard to see it because it's so far away and I had to really punch in digitally, but you can see it's forming the triangle shape. Still tumbling a little bit, but still in this triangle shape. So alternative solution, right? It could legitimately be a craft, and it could be one of these guys up here too. It doesn't look identical, but it looks very similar. Here's another solar balloon that I compared against, again, a very similar type of object in the air. And this one really looked like it, the way, like this frame right here specifically. And you can go back and look at that video. But this one matched it almost identically.
It does not.
And this one's not identical, but for me, you can just see how the shape is there and how you have these legs that come down.
It doesn't.
Movement. Right? These things are
sustained.
Slowly.
It doesn't.
It's a screenshot, mate.
So that's just an alternative solution for what this could be. And this was.
I love this guy though, man. So
I had to go poking for it, but here's the source for that solar balloon that I'm comparing it against. One of two things I can think of. Maybe there's a third, but for me, those are the two most obvious. Right? We've been seeing things in the UAP category. I've been filming them, not so much in the daytime, but this is up at altitude, and I've seen these solar balloons, and they're getting, like I said, a kind of annoying because they go up there, they hang out, pilots see them, and it's if this is that, then it's adding a lot of noise in the signal. So
thank you.
Let's hope we start seeing less of these things, and let's just hope less people are playing around with these solar balloons, because I think we don't need more noise in this signal.
I think it's that one.
Yeah, that's where I am with this video. And let me know if in the comments what you think. Like I said, I'm not going to tell you what it is. This is just what I see. And I may be leaning more towards the balloon thing, but again, I could also see how this could be a craft as well. So thanks for watching.
No, thank you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. But you're totally wrong. One would argue.
No, much love. Yeah.
One would argue, right? If the altitude that is at 14,000 feet, right? The wind currents at that altitude that balloon is going to be flying all over the place, isn't it? It's not going to stay stationary. And for the period of time it's out in that altitude, you can clearly see it's in a very stationary position.
Oh yeah.
Or was that just me?
I still got one here. No, it's not. I don't think I'm with you. I don't think that both the solar balloons that he compared it to, look nothing like it. Look nothing like it, and I still don't believe it. If I thought, now I could be wrong, and again, I agree with Sherry that it's important to have exact locations, exact times, because if we had that with the video, we could have a look on flight radar and we could end this argument once and for all. Even though some people will say that military aircrafts don't have to operate on flight radar, but what you can look is that they will have to say they're going to be up there, so there will be a space where no planes are going over.
Have you heard of the Chris Bledsoe incident?
No.
God, I forgot I was going to go with that. Honestly, it just completely went.
Then I think maybe not. But also,
God.
Maybe not. I don't know. I'm going to say this. Yes, it's time to play, but I'm just going to say this, right? That for 1 second, I don't believe it was a jet. I don't believe it was a jet. I know it's something there that's unusual. If I thought for one instant that was a jet on a steep climb, I would not have bothered. I would not have bothered.
What I was going to say about Chris Bledsoe, so he did an interview with Sean Ryan, right? And he put out it's this ball of light zoomed in and it crosses the moon.
Yeah, I've
you
seen
see
that.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mick West, right? He ends getting up, he gets the data and it finds out is actually the International Space Station, ISS. And because like Sherry says, if you get the data, you can track what's going on. The same with this drone situation. Remember the footage that mainstream media kept putting out of this drone? And it's a flipping aircraft. And that was debunked by not Mick West, Stephen Greenstreet. Because he got the data, contacted the pilot. It's like data is so important. So Sherry, you're very well right on that one.
Oh, indeed. Yeah. But at the end of the day, right? If there's good footage out there like that, I'm gonna not let those little things stand in the way of putting it out there for you guys to see, because then that's just being wrong. It has to, we're looking for something we want to see, and I thought that was a very interesting footage. It's what the only thing that anybody could say is wrong with it is we don't see it land, we don't see an alien wave at us. We don't see it take off. It's not long enough, which, these footages, it is what it is. This guy's flying at a certain speed, at a certain altitude, got what he got.
Yeah. And you saw it in the distance as well. So that's saying something. It probably came up on his radar. I was like, what the hell is that? Let's get this, take a footage of it. But it's nevertheless, mate, it was still interesting. I love footage like that because it's very detailed as well. Even though it goes past the camera quite fast, nevertheless, you can tell there's some sort of structure behind it, where normally we just get blurry, crappy footage. So, decent shot, mate. Decent one so far during this year.
That's what I mean. And at least it ain't drones, man.
I know, mate. I understand. Drones are back, aren't they? Drones are back.
Are they?
Yeah.
I haven't seen them. I haven't seen much of them in the search. I mean, like Elon Musk did a rocket launch last night, it would have been. So I saw a couple of them. But
it's interesting stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. So there's also something that popped up about, now this wavers into the FBI. Have you seen all the talk about the FBI's kind of saying these agents that are investigating the UFOs, they're alluding to that they're being scared that there might be a purge.
A purge.
Basically firing them.
What, firing the agents?
Yeah, who were investigating these UFOs.
Why, by the administration?
Yeah.
No, I haven't heard about that one, mate. Was that on Twitter? Because I didn't see anything about that.
Oh. See, now I wish I never got so high, because then I would have recorded it. But there's an article I posted out, and
it's on the channel.
I posted out on Twitter. I also posted it out in the comment section of the channel because I thought it was interesting.
All right, let's have a look. I'm going to find it.
If you go in the comment section, it's not the comment, what they call it, the community, the post. Yeah. The post. Yeah. They changed the name of that now as well, haven't they?
Oh, they have, haven't they? Yeah. Is that by the FBI stuff? Yeah. FBI who investigate worried about possible pushback and purge. Okay, yeah, I got this here, mate. I'll bring it up. Here we go. There you go. Got your face on that. So FBI agents who investigate UFOs worried worried they could be pushed out in possible purge. The existence of the FBI informal working group on this issue has not been disclosed publicly before. FBI agents who are part of a secretive group investigating the surge of unidentified aerial phenomena, otherwise UFOs, what the government used to refer to as UFOs, which still is UFOs, are worried that they could lose their jobs in a possible FBI purge targeting officials who worked on the January, according to 4 people similar with the matter. Some FBI agents who work in the group also worked on case, according to the people. Saved your ass there, mate. All agents across the Bureau have been ordered to file out a questionnaire about the work on the cap. Is this actually to do with this like UFO stuff? Because it's mentioned something I can't mention.
Yeah, because I was clearing my throat then. But the thing that go back. You know, when you began it, you said that this agency hasn't been officially recognized.
Yeah.
What did you say?
The existence of the FBI informal working group on this issue has
never been
disclosed. Has never been disclosed publicly before. So yeah. So the FBI agents are part of this secretive group investigating the surge of UFOs.
But it seems like there's another group of agents that are investigating the agents.
Oh, really? Right.
My takeaway from it, because if you read further into the article, it talks about it happened before. Because you could also think, hey, look, these guys are, they're probably a little bit paranoid or something. But it says in the article it happened before, I think in 2021, the Pentagon did a similar thing.
Oh, here is the Pentagon had a similar effort called the Advanced Aerospace
2017. Yeah.
2017. Yeah, the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, which is otherwise known as ATIP. Was it? Yeah, ATIP, yeah. And you got ATIP and ORSAP, which is the Advanced Aerospace Threats, Advanced Weapons Systems Program, something like that. Bloody acronyms everywhere. So yeah, you are right, mate. It has happened before, back in 2017. 2017 sent shockwaves throughout Washington, around the country. PSYOP. But anyway, we'll get to that another time. Well, we all know that anyway. But yeah, you are right, mate.
So then that leads credence. If they watch that happen to a group that was set up to investigate this stuff, by the Pentagon, and it did it. And now a similar pattern is starting to form, that this group now, and I'm kind of thinking, well, are they trying to ascertain what exactly these people have investigated and what they have exactly came across? Because remember now, the FBI files, they're only open to us for so many years, up to so many years.
I've been saying this for ages now. There's the 3-letter agency, no matter who they are, FBI, CIA, there's people behind who's stopping disclosure. Tim Burchett, he even said that himself as a congressman. He says, look, there's someone behind closed doors who's stopping disclosure, who's stopping trying to put this information. It could be no more clearer that something is behind pushing the UFO conversation in a different direction, i.e. Luis Elizondo. And I just find that these 3-letter agencies just keep pushing disinformation out there and even stopping information to sort of get disclosure. I mean, disclosure just sounds like it sounds redundant at this point now, isn't it? It's very corrupt.
I think the whole thing's stupid, because you got people out there like me, Mavi, third phase, because look, we all we got to do, we throw out the videos, man, and then we can have time to kick back and look at what, like how I never watched that guy who did the video analysis of it. I never watched it before, but you know what? I still would have played it anyways, because I have respect for him. I like him. And the thing is, in this game, We call them how we see. I called it how I saw it. 50,000 people who watched it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought it was a good video when I saw it. I had the wow factor first when I saw it. Then when I looked at it again, and by the fourth time I looked at it, I thought, you know what? This is what a UFO is. This is what a U stands for in UFO.
Yeah. Food, water, music. I believe I say his name wrong. Tim Burchett. I think it's Burchett. It's my accent. It always sounds like Burchett.
I say bird shit anyways on purpose. Yeah, he must have been bullied at school, man. I bet that boy could fight, though. I bet you he could fight.
It's Tennessee accent, isn't it?
So many people would have been coming at him, calling him, "Hey, bird shit, come here, man." So you know what I mean? It's like, call me that one more time, man.
I'm from the Southwest, so our accent and our pronunciations of words are a bit different, as you can tell from this episode. So.
I'm stoned, so my pronunciation of words is spot on. It's you guys with the hearing problem.
I'm just sobering up, hence why I've just read that paragraph quite well. So yeah, there we go.
No, you did. It's very. Yeah. It seems a bit ill written.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
And then, like, I'm gonna share this with you guys, man. I hope you guys don't mind, because I found this one really funny. Here. Now, it's just a simple picture, but it's been taken at the perfect time. And can you see this picture, Nick? Because I know your cat's bothering you.
Yeah, I can see it. White trash.
Can you read?
I know, whitewashing. Oh, whitewashing.
Oh my god!
Sorry, I read that wrong.
She's wearing the best Chanel top, and you saying that? Oh man,
I could honestly say that is not a flattering picture of her.
That's definitely a trailer. That's definitely that's a short. That's a short for you. But
whitewashing.
Nick, can I ask you a question?
Yes, of course you can. Is the cat on my lap? Yes. Calm him down.
No, I'm going to ask you this. Do you feel that doing what we do in the community, and I kind of strayed away from saying that word community, but you guys here, we are a community. We're a bunch of people that are having a great time. Well, I hope so, and having a laugh. And Nick is informing us, a wise one.
Oh, thank you. I do the best I can.
Don't you feel every time, from every time to time, we have to remind people of the threat that is out there, the imminent threat?
What sort of threat we're talking about here, Hidden?
Can you imagine me as Rough Crew thought now? There is an imminent threat that is out there that has been forgotten, but I will remind you with my tales of woe and fantasy.
Yeah, I think that dream killed it when that egg UFO came out.
Yeah.
But debunker, yeah.
I'm gonna say this, man. Look, there you go. This is my reminder to you. I gotta remind you. Can you guys read? If you guys can't read that, it says, "Warning: aliens from space may be impersonating humans," and that little writing underneath says, "Not art."
Oh, that's brilliant. I think people are waking up. I think so to this stuff, even though it is quite far out there, isn't it? Thinking that aliens are walking among us, which I'm definitely not doubting.
Man, if you see stuff like that, man, please send me pictures of them, because I love seeing street art, especially when it's like that.
Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it?
But anyways, man, we shot over the 2-hour mark, so
I knew we would.
Are we done here?
I think we're done. I think we've covered the Antarctica the best that I could. My God, that was touch and go, mate. Honestly, flipping hell.
No, you're done good. You're done good.
Bloody hell, I think that's probably one of the worst. I was like, mate, I was just about to say, look, let's just have like a nice chilled episode because my reading skills was terrible. Anyway, but no, I enjoyed it. It was a good episode. Good episode. Thanks for people in chat as well. Much appreciated. You guys are killer and killing it as always.
Okay, I'm just waiting for the bad. I hope it ain't really bad news. But anyways, thank you. Thank you. And if you ever see that street art, man, my email is in the description of any of the videos that I post on just the videos. I don't think I put it in here, but just send. I love seeing street art, man. I don't know.
You should see around my area. I don't want to tell you where I live, but we got phenomenal 3D street art. Some of them we got to use 3D glasses to actually see the picture. Cheers, Ghost Quest. Thank you. You had him on the show before, mate.
Ghost Quest is coming up, isn't he? Yeah, no, he's coming up as well. Because we got to talk. We got to talk about the ghost of. Am I got Camel Main? Did I say it right? Camel Main. I always say this wrong.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to get the guy on the show, wasn't it? About that crazy event.
I was wondering what happened to him. Oh, he used to be a moderator on here, but I thought he got a bit pissed off because Penny used to come on, which everybody's welcome, but oh man, God rest your soul, brother.
Jeff, was there someone who I was familiar with?
I don't know if I know he was there all the time. But I don't think he was on ours. I don't know.
Okay. Well, sorry to hear the loss, man. That's terrible.
It's terrible, man. He was a smoker as well.
Oh. Well, it's all 420. It's all 420 for Jeff.
Hey, should we do that, man? Should we do that?
Yeah.
You know what? This show's for Jeff, man. I don't care now. I want to play a tune for this man. So, guys, let's roll one up and let's drop a tune. I know. I had respect for him too. That's why I wasn't listening to Penny. But anyways, I wouldn't listen to anybody anyways. If somebody come at me and said, look, you need to get, I'm like, no, he's oh man. So come on, I'm gonna have to roll a joint for that, man. Sorry. So guys, sad news, man.
Yeah. Death is always tragic.
I don't care about the copyright now. I'm gonna play a tune in his honor.
What you got in mind for a tune?
Nice little smoke in the weed tune.
What, a bit of reggae?
Why did you have something in mind?
Not really, mate. No, I'm always intrigued into like new music and stuff like that. As a former musician myself, so yeah. But I hope the show was at least.
It's not nice. No, it's hey man. I know it's somebody over the internet, man, but
no, it's okay, mate. It's all good. It's
that's sad. I feel it, man. I feel it. Yeah, let's smoke up for Jeff, man. Let's do a smoke up for him, man.
Oh, cheers, Ghost Quest. Yeah, I mean, I've always got that. I mean, I'm a drummer by. I mean, I went to music college and everything, and that was my my passion. So I want to start taking up the bass. That's something. But yeah, once you're a musician, you're always a musician. I mean, when I was in the covers band, we were so good, so tight. I think we didn't play for like 10 years, and then we came back again, and it's like nothing has changed. Like it came back, it's just like we hadn't even like didn't even like rehearse or anything like that. It sounded like perfection. So it's really shows your trade, man. But yeah,
it's all right, man. It's all right. I'm glad you told me. Because you know what? This is the way. This is the way. Jeff would have loved us to have a little smoke for him, man. And yeah. I don't know nothing about Jeff. I can't tell you anything about Jeff because Jeff was a guy here. He's been with the channel for a very long time, and you know I feel kind of bad because I could have contacted him when I hadn't seen him just to say, hey, reaching out to you, see if you're all right, and I didn't. So, you know, I feel bad for that kind of thing. I just thought, you know, because Penny was coming in, and I thought he just had enough of it. And to which I wouldn't blame him. Do you get what I'm saying? Then when you just think, oh, it's not. I like hanging out in the Indian underbelly, but it ain't worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how it was sudden. Oh, do you know what happened? So I know nothing, man. I ain't even made. Oh my God. You know what? I gotta grind some up as well. So I was about ready to end the show.
I tell you what, Hidden. Bring up this. I can show the people the power of AI at the moment. Silence. Bring it up, Hidden. Here we go. Okay, so as Hidden is rolling up a doobie, this AI generated photograph, as you see in the top left corner here, and this is what AI has managed to do.
What would art be like without emotions? It would be empty. What would our lives be like without emotions? They would be empty of values. So a famous classical poet said, we hate and we love. Can one why? Catullus. Science does not answer why questions. What would art be like without emotion?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So from this picture, an AI created this. This is showing how far we've come, guys.
Now you see, where's the legal ramification in this now? Because isn't the image of Einstein copywritten?
I don't know, is it?
I believe so.
Oh, we've gone that far now, is it? Bloody hell.
No, it's not we've gone that far. It's always been copywritten.
Oh, right. I didn't know that, to be honest with you, Hayden. I would have
so I'm wondering where's the legal ramification in this?
Yeah. Oh, my God. Okay, first of all, can anyone see this on my screen? Right. I am getting sick and tired of this bot called Concerned Citizen. Look at this idiot. Look at this chemical soup. This dude gets it. Dude, this is called a bloody sunset.
It's a chemical soup, man.
I just have no fucking words.
Oi.
I mean, that just...
Oi.
Talk about fucking chemical soup.
Oh my God.
Oh, we're getting a copyright anyways, ain't we?
This video shows a beautiful example of atmosphere optic of a layer of clouds during sunset. Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, this is how far the community's gone. Occam's fripping razor, mate. Come on.
No, it's not the community, man. It's, you know what it is?
It's idiots.
It's people like him who should honestly know what that is. I mean, we see those sunsets all the time. I'm sure everybody in the world must see them. You know, we even have a little rhyme: red sky at night, shepherd's delight.
Shepherd's delight, red sky in the morning, shepherd's warning.
Shepherd's warning.
Yeah, I just see that so much hidden, and it's like these people don't understand weather. They see a cloud they can't explain, and I think it's like toxic poison or was man-made to make the frogs gay or something like that. I don't bloody stupid.
But do you think he's that stupid? Because that sounds like a man that's like of some age. Do you think he's that stupid to have not ever seen that before, that sunset before?
Yeah, I think
You think
trust me, mate. I've been in that community. I know how that people community act. They are literally taking videos and pictures of clouds and going, "That's not normal." Well, I was like, "Well, hold on a minute. What do you mean that cloud's not normal?" Well, I've never seen that cloud before. Well, how do you know that? Have you not picked up a book and done any research to find out that cloud's happened before? All this community does is that they believe a pretty picture and a bunch of videos of Barbara, right, who works in Tesco's, telling me how bloody weather works. When if I told Barbara how a cloud is formed, or could you tell me how a cloud is formed, she wouldn't be able to bloody tell me. But they're telling me that everything's man-made on purpose. It's just so stupid, mate. Honestly, this is why. Honestly, it's coming to a point now where I just don't believe this conspiracy theory, because it's just like there's so much outlandish nonsense being pushed out there by this idiot here. I think he's a bot. This person must be a bot because he's clearly an idiot. Posting garbage like this, and then you again when you're new into this community, you believe in anything that any video pops up, and when you see a fact check like this, people go, "Oh, I don't believe that. That's just nonsense." It's like, no. How many times have I seen orange sky at night? I've got so much videos of that. It's like, common sense, mate. Common sense. But I'm just rambling on, mate. I'm rambling on. I do apologize. I'm ready to smoke.
I'm ready to. Is everybody? Let's check out the chat, man. Are you guys ready?
Let's do it. Let's all smoky smoke for.
All right. This is for Jeff, man. And Jeff, this is the tune. This show is for you, man. Where are we? There we are. Little bit of hip hop. Little bit of hip hop. Oh, I'm pressing play on this screen.
He's only smoked pot occasionally for a few weeks.
Yo, first I chop it up and roll up. Or I might be up at the crib and light a bowl up. Hold up, swell up, you wanna get up out my stash? Cause you ain't getting high unless you giving me some cash. Light up the cannabis and I'm sky high. So high I might try to fly. Ride with me, baby, for the buzz.
Thanks, Ghost Quest. Cheers, mate.
The green is getting me mellow as the sea is. I'm twisting up the strongest till I'm faded as bleach is. My crew got the Mary Jane steaming up the whip. Get a whip, get a sniff, and they trying to get a grip. For the love of the trees, I'ma put it on my lip. For the love of the culture, I gotta give them a tip. It's a good day to inhale the purple haze from the bomb. Whatever we smoking, we hit it long. I'm lifted, still got enough to go and zip it. Whatever's in the chamber, light it up and I sip it. Come on, I wanna get high. I'm gonna be smoking. I'm gonna be smoking. I wanna get stoned. I wanna get high. I'm gonna be smoking. Yo, I ain't joking. I wanna get stoned. I wanna get high. I'm gonna be smoking. I'm gonna be smoking. I wanna get stoned. I wanna get high. I'm gonna be smoking. Yo, I ain't joking. The day I started smoking it, I feel like I woke up. My big homie supplied it and he told me to toke up. Every day since I felt it, I've been hitting my folks up. Who trying to get the fire? Yeah, who trying to smoke up? I love the feeling, the body, the head, and the smell. If you ain't been on the good, then the good you can't tell. I'm about to give them something to remember me by. I'm on my second run for the food. Remember we hot. Remember the days I came up from from the bottom. My mother said the blaze will keep my brain rotten. My eyes be the pillows, my mouth stay cotton. When it comes to the ganja, nobody can stop him. I'm a big smoker. Jesus, my quota. I gotta stay lifted from Miami to Minnesota. The daily dose is a must. You know I'm a blaze, cause you can bet on the fact I'ma be smoking for days. I wanna get stoned, I wanna get high. I'm gonna be smoking, I wanna be smoking. I wanna get stoned, I wanna get high. I'm gonna be smoking, yo, I ain't joking. I wanna get stoned, I wanna get high. I'm gonna be smoking, I wanna be smoking. I wanna get stoned, I wanna get high. I'm gonna be smoking, yo, I ain't joking, joking.
Smoke it up.
He's only smoked pot occasionally.
Smoke it up.
Weed, grass, pot.
Smoke it up.
He's only smoked pot occasionally.
Smoke it up.
Weed, grass, pot.
Hell yeah. For you, Jeff.
That's for you, man. That's for you. Man. Sorry.
I came in stoned and now I'm leaving stoned.
Yeah, that's the best way to be, man.
That was awful. Oh my god, that was probably one of the worst. That was terrible. Oh man. But no,
Yeah.
I think I pulled it off all right.
No, it was good. It was good. Very interesting. I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it because I thought one thing, because I still think I still like the story of the UFO encounters, and
It's entertaining, isn't it? When you kind of look into it. Maybe I tell you what, we'll do a follow up. Once I do a bit more reading into it, because it kind of links into like German flying saucers. A little
see,
bit.
if you ever tell me when you got the time, I'll dig out of the computer the underground base, the UFO base in the water. Because have you seen what my man's trying to allege to now? I caught a little glimpse of it. New Elizondo. Are they trying to say there's some big ass ship in the ocean now?
Yes, you're right. Yes, he's just regurgitating stories that we already heard. Welcome to ufology, everyone. There's your disclosure for you. Oh, we're never going to get the truth, mate. But no, bring it up next time. I'd be interested to hear that story because I'm not too familiar with it.
No, well, I'll send it over to you because you like piecing your stuff together. Me, I just have, but no, but my point in saying that is that, God, now I lost my train of thought. No, okay, I got it. The UFO underground base, undersea base, the alien undersea base. That one is really, it's just one of those.
Trust me, bros.
Well, yeah, in a way it is, because this guy's claiming to be a whistleblower, but he just chose to go on 4chan, which, to me, if I was a whistleblower or something like that, I'd go on 4chan too.
Hide your identity that way.
That's it. So, of course it's a lot of trust me, bro.
Sure. A lot of it is in ufology. Yeah. I mean, if you look at like Jason Sands and I mean the stuff he was saying on News Nation, not News Nation, he was on Joe Rogan, Jason Sands, saying that I'm a bit dubious when it comes to his claims, but you also had Jake Barber that came on News Nation saying that you had to be gay, left-handed to actually summon UFOs in his little group.
What he's talking about.
Mate, I'm not joking. It was literally saying like,
I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I know, a little fan club there, but it's just like you can summon UFOs, but you've got to be gay and left-handed.
Is this guy also charting a cruise ship?
No, he's
go summon UFOs.
I would imagine so.
Don't you know about it?
No, a cruise ship.
Now correct me if I'm wrong, But isn't Stephen Greer doing a summons in UFOs aboard a cruise ship event where people can pay for?
Not on a cruise ship, mate. I think it's on his ranch, isn't it? It's big property.
No,
Oh, it's not. Ah, okay.
This is happening. I think this is happening this year. Check it out. Can you check it out? See if you can check it out. Because obviously it's going to be on the internet somewhere because he's selling tickets to this.
Was it Stephen Greer cruise ship?
See, I'd go. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. Oh, sorry. I'm with you. I'd go on a UFO cruise ship, but I'd just go on a cruise.
Oh yeah, here it is. I'll bring it up. This is hilarious.
See, you think I'm joking?
I thought you were joking. You're not.
I'm here, man. When I'm looking for these videos, man, I see all these things. That's how come I saw that story about the FBI being worried that they're going to be losing their jobs.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah. Here we go. So this is once in a lifetime opportunity. Dr. Stephen Greer.
Caribbean cruise.
Full scale.
UFO submarine.
Experienced UFO team member. Oh my God. Either one. Should we find out? Tickets. What the bloody. And it's sold out, bruv. It's sold out.
That's not too bad, though, you know. Couple of grand, because that's not one night. That's how many nights?
How many nights is that? 4 nights stay under Stephen Greer and his team, who definitely not going to touch you up. I'm sorry, mate.
He sold that out, though, man.
Mate,
that's a cruise. That's a cruise ship.
VIP registration, $2,000. What does that actually get you? Not to suck his dick? Sorry.
Hey.
Sorry. Karen includes your meal directly to your celebrity cruise line. Ooh, fancy word. Oh my God. I'm gonna say this. If you bought this ticket, I think you're immensely sad and you just go out and touch grass. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. I would never waste that money on something probably that's fake.
That's why that man's talking about anyone that summons in UFOs. They're on about. They're talking about him, man. That's what he's on about. Because he's the fake.
Why not? If he can summon UFOs, why not take a footage of it or photograph?
He has, though.
Is he?
But yeah, the orbs, the famous orbs on the beach. You guys remember that one?
Yeah, it turned out to be flares.
When people were saying it was flares.
No
matter what,
flares.
No matter what, he come back with footage, though. Well, people are saying my video's a stealth fighter.
I don't know, man. This is a bit too far-fetched for me. Photograph and CE5 in the Celebrity Center conference room. God, this must be so boring.
Do you understand the stuff that I see now? I don't always see real footage as well. I see a lot of fake footage, a lot of CGI footage, but CGI now is really easy to tell. It's still at that stage where it's really easy to tell.
Yeah.
So I still don't. I was watching a good one, and I'll tell you what, man, it was good. It was off this old lady. Yeah. And I think it's to show off the skin, because the skin texture was good. Because I had to stare, and I'll tell you where I caught it was the fingers. It had like 6, 8 fingers. The AI couldn't get the fingers right.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, it got the sagginess and the wrinkles and everything of an old lady. I thought it was an old lady. It was the hands that gave it away.
I see. Yes, AI still hasn't got that quite right. Soon.
Because you remember, I think last year it was the faces they couldn't get right.
it was faces, feet, and hands, wasn't it?
They're still having trouble with hands.
Still with hands, yeah. But overall, it's looking pretty banging. It's getting there. Not 100%, but it's getting there. You know what I mean?
I think it's but it's not affecting. It's not affecting. It's great to be out there. It's great to be back. You know, like I have been feeling some pain, but like I said to the missus, it's time to hit it now. And God truly blessed me with my with my return with that great video.
Yeah, that's good, mate. I mean, it's kind of hard to find. I mean, especially the past 3 months when you look since December on how like drone footage and everything, it hasn't really looked that good, and how the conversation has gone. Oh, a drone is now a UFO, which it kind of is to a certain degree, but it's still a drone. You know,
it's a drone. It's not a UFO.
Yeah,
it's an IFO.
That's like me going in a field, pointing at a cow and going, "That's not a real cow."
That's a horse.
That's a horse. It's like, or even going, "That's not a cow," because I don't know where it's come from. It's like, no, it's still a cow because I'm pointing at it and I can see it. You know what I mean?
Now see it from my point of view. Two things happened when that was going on.
Okay, go on.
First, there was an overkill of footage. So let's say by the first week of me looking at every footage coming from New Jersey, about a week solid, up them being planes, helicopters, and drones,
pretty much, yeah.
Well, these three candidates, because yes, they were drones, but and the concession was they were drones, but they were mysterious drones. Who were flying them? You know, Polly Big, John Boy, and Billy Bob were out there flying drones along with everybody else. But anyways, that's it into a lot of my time. And here comes the other problem that happened. Well, the other thing that happened with it, as well as say within 2 weeks of this now, because this lasted for what would you say, about a good month solid?
About month December to like January, I think. Yeah.
If I saw any footage that said New York and it said UFO, I automatically, New Jersey, I automatically just summed it up as a drone. So I wouldn't even look at the footage. So in that aspect, what if there was a real UFO sighting?
Possibility, mate. Yeah.
Like if you remember on on one of the shows, what's the podcast called? Daily Conspiracy.
Daily Conspiracy podcast. Yeah.
They showed that video. You remember of that drone, and it shot at something that wasn't behaving like a drone.
Yeah.
See, that's why I didn't see that.
It's all mixed in, and it's a difficult one, isn't it? You really got to really search into it, because it was such a micmash of helicopters, planes, drones, balls of light all together, and it's just people couldn't figure out what was what.
It's time wasting. Now that it's off, I feel I can work. My time ain't tied up with, oh, here we go again, drones. Here we go.
I understand. It got a bit tired after a while.
It got to a point that I turned to my missus and I said, if ever I put out a video that at least behaved or looked like a drone, people would crucify me. And now people are begging to see what are clearly drones.
Yeah, pretty much. And there's always seems to be this threat narrative, isn't it? This threat, and it's like, what's going on? What's going on here? What's exactly been a threat? If these drones have been going on for a long period of time, what exactly is it done to the public? Where's this threat narrative coming from?
See, the threat.
Oh, carry on. Yeah, the threat narrative. Yeah.
Well, see, this is the problem, because it's the psyche of us, and it's a built-in psyche. Because hence we're automatically built in to be afraid of the dark.
Yeah. Sure.
We're automatically afraid to be afraid of the unknown or the perceived or an imminent threat.
Sure.
You get it. You get it. Where there's fear, there's money. And when 2 planes hit and 3 buildings fell event happened, we saw that because the in the level of fear that everybody had after witnessing that event, the Coalition Against Terrorism was founded, which saw the Patriot Act being passed.
Yeah.
And which was alleged to have netted over 500 billion.
I believe so. There's a lot of money, wasn't it? And surveillance on the public and everything.
Things that make you go, That's where it's at. Fear and terror. So let's gather some data. I think some of it was data research. I honestly think that because there was way too many drones, and they allowed things that were clearly drones to be perceived by the mainstream media. It was allowed to have a hype.
News Nation played a big part of that. Yeah, 100%.
Well, you also mentioned the other ones. I think all mainstream media had a part of it. All of them. Everyone drank it this well.
Except for the British newspaper. I didn't see a lot of coverage on that.
No.
Probably some small news articles and all that. But yeah, I know. It just got a bit frustrating after a while, mate. So I totally understand. Bloody drones.
Well, that's it, man. That's it.
We're all good. I got nothing else to cover, mate. I've looked through my Twitter and nothing exciting. So
guys. Yeah. But hey, maybe having nothing exciting is a good thing, or maybe it's the calm before the storm.
Maybe. Yes.
But all right, so we're gonna wrap it up.
This is it. Let's do it. And I just got to say, thanks to everyone in chat. And if you want to see me next, excuse me, I will be on Good Morning UFO tomorrow with Amy for an hour. Get to know her.
Are you going to be over there?
Yeah. I reached out to her.
Ask her if she'd pop on over here, man.
Yeah. I'm sure she would love that. Yeah, she probably add you to a little group we got on Twitter.
I'm not on there, man. I ain't in that group.
That's fine.
I was in there. I was in there, in fact, laughing at someone.
Fair enough, mate. So yeah, I'll be on Good Morning UFO, formerly known as Alien Girl 111. So that'll be tomorrow, and Friday I'll be going obviously live with Alien Addicts with an exciting episode, which I need to figure out.
No.
I've got plenty of stuff that I just haven't shown in this episode. So yeah, I just need to get that all in order. So Sherry, that will be lunchtime. If you're in the UK, that will be lunchtime. And I think she goes in the morning, God knows when, but sometime in the morning in America. So, but it'll be up anyway. It'll be up. Everyone can view it after it's been live.
Is it going to be live?
Yeah, it's live stream. Yeah, she goes and once it's done, it'll be up there soon. Everyone can go check it out. So yeah, get my face out there a bit.
That's it, man.
Oh God. Here we go. Hit the mute button, mate. There we go. You're still muted. He needs a glass of water. You need a bottle of water, mate. Oh God, here he goes. Should we insult him? See if we can hear me. Oh no, you can't. You've got your headphones in. Ghost Quest says, "Poor guy. Yeah, it's horrible when you cough like that. That's stoner cough, mate."
Oh, that was so dry. Just ripped your throat then. Oh man. That's it, though.
That's it.
So let me see how we gonna end it.
End it on a good note.
And well, first we must say respect to Jeff, man. Wherever you are, sleep well, brother. Sleep well.
Absolutely.
And that's it. Me. I hope to be showing you stuff, but remember, check out Facebook and Twitter if you have them. If you don't worry about it. But check them out sometimes, because like I say, I do want to say to you guys, the shorts now. I'm going to be posting. I feel that if I come across anything interesting, may not be UFOs, may not be related to you know what I mean, like anything paranormal, or maybe it might be, but it's going to be non-UFO related stuff I may be posting with the shorts. So don't worry if, like, you know, I post something about, I don't know, you know, like a whale doing something weird or something.
Doing somersaults while riding a skateboard or something like that.
Yeah, don't worry if I post something like that. It's just me having fun with the shorts. So
Awesome,
that's
mate.
it. So I'm just gonna end it.
Awesome.
Some guy said he was gonna do some outro for us. So yes.
Okay, cool. Thanks to everyone in chat. It's a pleasure as always, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Not too sure what topic yet, but I'm sure it'll be an exciting episode for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it'd be about Aleister Crowley.
Oh yeah. Should we do it? Should we just do Aleister Crowley for next episode? Something a bit different. We'll see. We keep everyone informed. Nice.
Yeah, we'll let you know, man.
Awesome. Thanks everyone in chat.
You know. Thank you. I do want to pull you all up, but thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. And we're ending the show. So on that note, stay blessed. Oh man. It's too hard, man.
Okay. Good
Jeff,
night, everyone.
Look what you did to me, man. Look what you did to me, Jeff. I'm blaming Jeff. I'm blaming you. See, you're having your nap, and I'm still blaming you. So until next time, stay blessed and keep safe.
Good night, everyone.